Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Talk.
Hey, everybody! Woo!
Yep, they're all working. And welcome back to
the
McDoncast. Yeah, we're gonna keep it in. We're gonna keep in that impromptu mic test that we did halfway through the intro.
Bro.
The funnest podcast in town.
The best podcast around.
The best podcast around. Tucker, your camera is a little bit still not turned all the way.
Whose fault is that?
Your fault. You should have turned it. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome back. We've got quite a show lined up for you guys today. We've got Marvel trailers, Green Lantern things, Vision things. Tucker's got A24 things. We got do we not have anything to review this week?
Nope.
We can talk about Andor.
I haven't seen a couple episodes.
What? It's good though. You should watch it.
I know. I like it.
It's really the last episode was actually like really good. Anyway, yeah, there's lots of stuff going on. Chainsaw Man is got 2 more. There's 3 and 4. You gotta watch episodes 3 and 4. Chainsaw Man. All right. With all that said, hello everybody and welcome. I hope you are all ready for an amazing episode. Starting things right off.
What day is it?
It is Thursday the 3rd.
What time?
It is 6:57:09.
And what's the address I'm at currently?
Now that's non-disclosable information.
All right. We want to talk about Vision Quest?
Yes, let's talk about Vision Quest. Also, you never fixed Thanos' gauntlet.
I did not. I forgot to do that.
All right, tell us what Vision Quest is.
All right, everybody. Do you remember the TV series WandaVision?
Yep.
Do you remember?
My favorite show.
Did you like the part where Vision was like a white guy? Was white?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Wax, you can't do that.
Max, no one can even see you.
I know.
Well, okay, on Twitch they can though, so they did see that.
So remember when Vision was white?
Yes, I remember when Vision was white.
Remember the ship of Theseus thing?
Yes.
Do you remember the part where he flew away at the end and nobody knows what happened to him?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're gonna find out, Sam, in the TV series Vision Quest from Disney Plus.
How much do you want to bet
Is Vision
at
gonna
the
be on
end?
Quest?
Yes.
Yes.
What?
How much do you want to bet at the end? He ends up looking back like normal Vision, and then all the feature properties, he looks like normal Vision, so that the people who weren't paying attention just assume he's back to life.
That would be a good marketing decision.
That would be a good idea, but then you wouldn't be able to sell the new action figures of White
Well,
Vision.
you can do that during the series' run, but then you go back to selling the old. And
Yeah, you sell twice as
You
many.
can make minor alterations to his costume to sell more action figures.
Mm-hmm.
So White Vision past WandaVision. White Vision Vision Quest.
Mhm.
Then you can sell normal Vision.
And that way, the people who don't want
Yeah,
to
Max,
shows
you're not
won't be
close enough to your mic
completely
for it
lost.
to pick you up about half the time you're talking.
That's fine.
The people who didn't watch WandaVision won't be completely lost as to why he's back now.
To be fair,
All you need to know
I
is
feel like more
which.
people watched WandaVision than like any of the
Continue,
other
is
ones.
this working? Or is this
No, yours is
that a
fine.
weird angle.
No,
I think
you're good.
Everyone
Ah!
watched WandaVision.
I think pretty much everyone watched WandaVision. I think because that was like the first one. Did your mic just fall off the thing? Tucker, why did you choose right after we started the show to have a million technical problems? I was fixing this for like 20 minutes and now everything's falling apart. Well, next time break it before we
This is
start.
why you don't take my mic.
Oh my, it's falling more somehow. All right. All right, continuing from what I was saying. Okay, pausing. All right, continuing.
It's not working.
It is working fine. Talk.
I gotta test it.
Okay, well now you're not talking, so yeah, it's not working now.
Look.
Talk.
Hello.
Okay, yes, it's working. All right, back to the show. Yes, WandaVision. They're making a new show. Vision Quest. It's about Vision. He's on a quest to, I don't know, find his
Well,
glasses.
Sam, he's on a quest to find his lost humanity and his memories, as now he is a robot with no emotions, and he
I thought
has
Vision
no
unlocked all
crystal
his
inside.
memories in the movie.
In the show.
Mm-hmm.
I think he did. Didn't
Yeah,
he?
he went up to him and he went, "Bzhoo," and then he went.
Was he just
"Whoosh."
showing him stuff?
Maybe if he was, that doesn't really make any
I
sense.
don't know.
Yeah, but wouldn't he remember?
Why
him
would a
showing him
ghost?
stuff?
Why would a ghost manifestation of Vision have Vision's memories and not the robot body of
Well, he's a
Vision?
robot.
Why is this playing already? Stop that! I did not tell you to play.
Oh yeah, no, he did show him his memories because then he like
yeah,
flew
because
out of
that's how
there.
he stops him from beating him up.
Yeah.
I don't
So-
know, maybe he lost him again.
Maybe he gets amnesia again.
He flew and then he hit
I
a
mean,
pole and then he.
Maybe the
lost
writers
remember?
forgot.
He's a robot. Like, I'm pretty sure Tony Stark would just have like all of his memories backed up on like a USB.
Yeah,
Like
so
a
they should just go to Tony Stark and ask him to give him his memories.
No, it's probably like in
has, like,
his
a whole,
like a
like,
drawer in
lab
his
or whatever.
office.
Well, okay, who would know where the Vision memories in his office are?
Jarvis.
The Jarvis who's dead?
Well, he's still got the other AI homeware.
Yeah,
thing.
but that was like he only used her for like a week. She was like
no,
bas-
he used
she was
her
like an intern.
after Age of Ultron.
And
Yeah,
he gave
the-
her to Peter Parker, so she's not running
No,
No,
around.
he
that
had
was
the little
Edith in
desk
Flash.
thing. Remember?
Those are the same thing.
No, he had the little desk thing.
Pepper might.
He had like a million AIs. I'm
Yeah,
sure
he has,
one
like,
of them knows where he kept the.
15,000 things.
Max,
The
that wasn't an
Vision
AI.
memory.
That was just a table.
No, that
No, he had
table
like
talk.
the yeah. It,
Yeah, but it didn't. Yeah, it talks, but it didn't have like
yeah,
its
but
own
I'm sure
name.
Jarvis is on it.
No, Jarvis is dead.
Jarvis is in Vision.
Jarvis is in Vision when Ultron like
When
ripped him
Ultron
apart,
beamed him.
and then they took part of it and fused it with Bruce Banner's brain
And
has the little
jumped
arm
that
on
into
it,
Hammer
Vision
Lightning
and Hammer Lightning and
Because
made
they don't
Vision.
remember, but that goes like.
Max, they can't see you.
No, yeah, he has all those robots.
Yeah, yeah,
He's like
but they're like
they're
they're canonically like super dumb.
Yeah, but they can find
Okay,
a
but
USB
if you
drive.
just like went into Tony Stark's house, like a couple.
He's like
before, you could
he's a supercomputer
Yeah,
with
he's-
legs and can phase through balls. I'm sure he could find.
So now that
memory
it's been
backup.
confirmed that Robert Downey Jr. is coming back for
He isn't, and where did you see that?
on Twitter, he said he was doing it.
He didn't say that.
He said he wanted to, and then Disney was like, "We might. Who knows?"
I don't think that happened. I think
That
that's
did
a
happen.
lie.
Look it up.
What would he?
Do you
Come
think
back
he'll be an
for?
AI, or do you
What
think
would he come back?
time
for?
travel? Do you think it will be an AI, or do you think he'll be an alternate universe
What
version
would
of
he
Tony
be
Stark?
in?
No, they're done with the
Did he be
multiverse
in
stuff.
not Endgame? Secret Wars.
Yeah, he said nothing on his Twitter. What are you talking about?
This was like a couple weeks ago.
I think he'll be AI
September. Yeah,
because they're kind of done with the multiverse.
He's not.
They're
gonna
not done with the
be-
multiverse stuff. They just started doing it.
They still have to do Secret Wars. That was the whole
thing,
point.
like, ended.
No,
No, Max, that's the whole arc for this whole
the
part.
saga is called the Multiverse.
Yeah, so you know how the
Saga.
whole first three phases of the MCU are the Infinity Saga because it was the Infinity Stones. So these three phases are the Multiverse Saga because it's all multiverse stuff.
and the movie Black Widow
And the movie Black Widow was also there.
And Shang
and Shang-Chi,
And
but that's
Shang-Chi.
connected somehow
and Black.
Black Panther is part of this one.
because the rings are maybe connected to Kang or something.
Yeah, because we'll get into that. We'll get into that later. Next piece of news.
I'm not done.
Oh, you're not done? Keep talking.
The writers' room for Vision Quest is currently being assembled. Jack Schaefer, who was the showrunner on WandaVision and also will be the showrunner on the Agatha Harkness TV show.
He's making his own little cinematic universe over there.
She's going to oversee this series also, and there's possibility that Elizabeth Olsen will show up as Wanda in flashbacks.
I think they just gave some.
It's a woman.
Yeah, she's like building her own little like Wandaverse.
Don't say
Okay,
that.
now we
Wa-
make.
Wandaverse. The Wandaverse of Wonder.
Where's the Scarlet Witch solo movie?
It's never happening.
Okay, now
I mean,
He's
actually,
dead.
it already happened. It was called Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness. And they just forgot to.
Remember
that
the part where
movie
she got crushed by a
sucked.
boulder?
Remember how that character who's been in the MCU for like over a decade died
No,
via
she's only been in it
rocks
for like
crush?
7 years.
That's a decade almost.
You know, by the
She was
time
introduced in Age of Ultron, which was 2014. She died in 2022, so 8 years.
Do you know about that? By the time the next Captain America movie comes out, Anthony Mackie as Falcon will have been in the MCU longer than Steve Rogers Captain America was.
That doesn't make sense.
So Captain America 4 is coming out in 2024, right?
Yes.
Anthony Mackie was introduced as the Falcon in Winter Soldier, which came out in 2014.
Yes.
It'll been 10 years. Chris Evans only played Captain America from 2011 to 2018. He only played the role for 8 years, meaning that Anthony Mackie will have done it for 10. And
Yeah, but
Yeah,
he's only been
got it.
Captain America for like a year.
I hope all been in the MCU like longer. Than
And
Chris
Steve
Evans
Rogers
was.
is still there. He's just not.
No, he dead.
You know, he's not dead. He's just not around.
Probably dead.
Probably.
What
Well,
would he do if he was alive? He's like 100 years old.
he probably just became like an investment banker, invested a bunch of money in Apple, and became a billionaire.
Can we get a cat? You know, everyone.
I want to see the movie where Steve
whoa.
Rogers does Wolf of Wall Street.
No. You know how there's always like crappy fan made like Photoshop posters of what they want the MCU movies to be, and they're always like really dumb.
Mm-hmm.
You ever seen the people who want there to be a movie about Captain America putting all the Infinity Stones back?
Yeah.
Instead of that, I want a movie where Steve Rogers just is Forrest Gump. And he's just
What?
because you know how he goes back in time, and then he lives for like the next 80 years, and it's just Forrest Gump with Captain America.
Where he just like influences
He's just
random
living
historical
through various
things.
historical events, and he doesn't do any Captain America stuff at all.
What they should do?
And they still call it Captain America 4.
Okay, what I actually think they should do with that, because I like that concept. I don't think it could hold a whole movie though.
I'm joking, by the way.
Yes, I'm well aware. But I think, you know, that whole concept where like he had to go put back the stones?
Uh-huh.
I think that could be one of their special presentations.
That would be fun.
I think for like a Christmas special or something, you could do that.
He wouldn't do it, but that would actually be a pretty fun idea.
And then it could end if they do it as a Christmas special. It would end where he
goes
goes
back
back
Christmas to
on
see
Christmas
Peggy.
to see Peggy. Yeah. See, now you want to see it, don't you?
No, they should.
That would
I've
be
sold
like
you on
a
it.
fun, like that'd be like fun for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying it would be like maybe a 30 or 40 minute little thing. I don't think you could do it in 20 minutes because I feel like just him and Red Skull you could do for 20
Yeah,
minutes.
you could
But
have him, and they could do a fight.
they could do a fight, or maybe I don't think they would fight. I think he would just be like, "Huh, this is awkward. How did you get here?"
Red Skull's still a Nazi, by the way.
Yeah, he's still a Nazi. My
So
question is,
just
how did
straight up
why
Nazi.
did he become the guardian of the Soul Stone if he touched the Space Stone?
Because that the character was written out, and they needed a character to be at the Soul Stone, and they were like,
They
we
needed,
never did
a
anything
fan
with Red
service,
Skull.
and so they did it there.
They needed a fan service, and they've killed every other character off on screen.
Yeah, every single other villain they've ever fought is dead.
That's why the Thunderbolts is such a lame
Guys,
team.
Yeah,
What
because
does this movie need?
the whole DC
We're not
universe is like, you know, Batman and Superman and like all those characters never, except Wonder Woman, all those characters never kill anyone. So that's what the whole that's what Task Force X, that's what the Suicide
Yeah.
is they're heroes that murder people. Whereas like
Everyone
in the Marvel
is
universe, they
killing
just kill everyone all the time. Except Spider-Man. His villains just kill themselves.
Yeah.
With the exception
No,
of
in No Way Home, he sends them all back to their respective timelines.
yes, but in Far From Home,
He
shoots
kills himself. Yes.
Exactly. And in what was
Vulture is
the
alive.
Vulture's alive, that's true.
Well, he's in Morbius world now.
his
Him and
status of
Morbius
life
are
is
putting the crew
debatable.
together.
They're putting a team together. They're gonna do some good.
He's dead. Like for all
Functionally, he's dead.
once you're in Morbius, for all extensive purposes, you're
Oh,
a dead
no.
character.
I
Oh,
guess
no,
you could
he's
say he's the living vulture.
Oh gosh.
Like
What's wrong?
Morbius.
Oh, he's the
Swarming all over
living
me.
vampire.
Uh-huh.
Okay, moving on. What?
Wait, hang on. I had a thing to say.
You have another thing to say?
It was something dumb. Hang on.
Say your dumb thing
Oh.
while I pour more ketchup.
I was gonna say, at least when like DC does a movie, they like nowadays they have like the gall just to like have 30 characters in it that they've just never introduced but are just in the movie anyway.
Yeah.
They don't feel the need like Marvel, where like if there's a character in the movie, they either need 20 minutes of backstory or they need to have already been set up in another movie. Like Marvel's just constantly throwing new characters at you and various things just so they can show up in another thing.
Yeah, it's like, all right, we need to introduce this character.
Yeah.
Who's it gonna be? How about this guy's friends, roommates, sons,
If
moms?
DC ever needs to use like
husband.
Brainiac, they're just gonna be like, Brainiac's in the movie now. He's here, and
Yeah.
you know who he is already.
I want to talk about this more on next week's episode after we've seen Black Panther. But just Phase 4 in general has had no sense of build-up towards anything. Like, Phase 1 ended with Avengers. That was huge. Phase 2 ended with Avengers again, and then...
And there was at least some sort of a
Spider-Man,
through line
kind of a thing.
in
Not
the
really.
first phase.
And then, obviously, concluded completely with Avengers Infinity War and Endgame.
I would say that
What was the conclusion for this? Black Panther? That's like one of the
It was-
least connected of all the heroes in the Marvel universe.
the connective tissue of this phase was setting up a bunch of new
Very
characters so that
excited.
they can fight Kang the Conqueror in the next phase.
Yeah, but
Or in two
there's
phases.
no big bad for them to fight. There's no smaller big bad for them to fight at the end of this phase.
there's no big movie that's
There's
the
no
finale.
Loki.
There's no
There's no Loki in this.
Because the
in this
first
no
three-
Lego set villain.
The
You know what I
three
mean?
phases were smart enough to all end
with their own
with
villain.
a crossover movie.
Yeah.
And this phase just isn't, which is why it feels
Or ending it
so
with the
weird.
character that is farthest.
Like at least if they ended it with like Eternals, like yeah, that movie sucked, but at least it would have been like okay, there's like a team here.
They should have ended it with Spider-Man, because then you would have had all the Spider-Mans on.
They
the
should have
screen at the
ended it
same
with
time.
Spider-Man No Way Home
Mhm.
because that also served as a threat. It's like this is what happens when the multiverse goes
Yeah,
wrong.
and it's building up because then you're ending...
You would have had Doctor Strange to be like incursions are bad
Yeah.
and they can cause problems. Then you would have had all the other movies just like this is sort of a concept we're going through. And then you have Spider-Man where it's like okay, this is what happens. This is what an incursion looks like when it's about to happen.
Yeah, it was weird. It's weird that they put both of their multiverse... It's the multiverse saga, right? And both of their multiverse movies came out like in the middle.
Yeah, right next
Because
to each
we
other.
had Multiverse of Madness, and then there was like another movie, and then another movie, and like 3 TV shows and a TV special in between that and the end of the phase. Like they should have just pushed Multiverse of Madness back to November. So that way there was like some buildup within the multiverse storyline, which is what they're doing.
I think their original plan for Doctor Strange then Spider-Man was way smarter, and I don't know why they changed it.
Because the market research said that they should change the plan. And because Sony demanded that Spider-Man come out
No, it's
first.
because it wasn't finished.
It's because Sony said Spider-Man's got to come out here, and they said, well, that doesn't go with the plan. But they went, hey, we're Sony, we get to control the release date, make it anyway. And so they had to put it out first. So they
Yeah,
had
that's
to rewrite.
dumb. All right, anyway, next thing. We'll talk more about the Phase 4 after Black... I want to do like a recap of
I
Phase
guess
4.
so.
Because Black Panther's the last
We
movie
only
of
have
Phase 4.
like a 4-month break in between phases 4 and 5.
Yeah, they're not going to be... The gap is not as long as it was for the last phases, but
I
I
want
still
a
want to...
longer gap.
If they're
I want
calling...
like 6 months.
If they're calling this the end of a phase, I want to talk about what story they told with this phase. We'll get into that
The
more
story
later.
of this phase was...
Moving on. Well, we'll get into that next week.
The story of this phase was
Moving
I
on
burned out.
to The Witcher. Henry Cavill has been recast as The Witcher for their Netflix show.
Yay.
After playing the character for 2 seasons.
Was he the
is-
voice in any of the cartoons?
no,
was
he
that a
was not
different guy?
alive in any of the cartoons yet. Those are like prequels.
Was that a different Witcher who looked
It's
the
in the
exact
same universe, but they're prequels, I think.
Okay. Are they doing a prequel live action show also?
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know what The Witcher's about at all.
Okay, so Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings, any of those things?
Any fantasy show? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So take Boba Fett, give him like Wolverine's powers with less of a healing factor.
Uh-huh. That's it.
That's what a Witcher is.
Does he just kill like vampires and stuff?
He kills everything. Kills
Wait, so
whoever,
it's
whatever he's
just
paid to
like-
kill.
it's
And
like
this
like
guy's
Boba
like
Fett.
900 books worth of lore.
He's medieval dead.
Well, he doesn't heal. He has like Wolverine's like senses where he can smell super good and see super good and hear super good.
Why is that always... That's such a lame power.
He has cat eyes, but not in the Netflix show.
Probably because I look stupid.
Well, it's because he can see in the dark. Like that's one of his things.
Probably because it looks really dumb, though.
In the games, it looked fine.
So what you're saying is he's like
But then Henry Cavill would have to wear contact lenses.
Oh, boo-hoo. Well, he already had to wear contact lenses because his eyes were yellow.
That was CGI.
No, it wasn't.
How do you know?
Because his pupils never changed size the whole show.
Anyway, Liam Hemsworth is gonna be the Witcher now. He's
Yes.
gonna be Geralt of whatever.
Geralt of Rivia.
Is it Geralt or Geralt?
It's Geralt. What on earth is Geralt?
I don't know. I don't know
Geralt.
anything about The Witcher.
It's Geralt of Rivia.
I thought it was Geralt because I
Sounds
thought it
like-
was like Gerald with a T.
What
If
a
you can't
cool
say
medieval
Geralt of Rivia, he's also known as the Butcher of Blaviken, and also like a bunch of other names. He has like 15 different names.
Could he be like Stephen of Dallas, Texas?
it's
Well,
me.
no, like okay,
Steven
if you have a name
Crowder.
that isn't your name, it's like a noun of action, like it's a verb of place. So Butcher of Blaviken, or like if you're Daenerys from Game of Thrones, you're like breaker of chains. It's always like action of object.
Should just be like first name Stephen.
No,
last
no,
name
no, no. That's
Carlton.
the name. You got it wrong again.
Is it? Is that like their job title?
No, so there's like their title. There's just like there's their name and place of birth, which that's like Geralt of Rivia. He's not
Mhm.
actually born there, but that's complicated to explain why he's called that. But so there's like that version, or like you know, again, if you use Game of Thrones as an example, like Jon Snow of, I don't remember even what the place he's from is called, but you get the idea.
Antarctica, because he's
Snow
snowing.
place, yeah.
Make a just.
Okay, next. What was I saying?
Morbius of boat.
And then there's the titles you get for like things you do, and those are different than like your names.
I gotta put it together.
He would be Michael Morbius of boat in uncharted waters.
Vulture.
Yeah,
where Morbius
no,
is
he'd
from.
be like Morbius of like downtown New York,
Vulture of doing.
and then and then his other title would be like
Vulture of doing
Drinker of
something.
Blood, or like
Vulture of putting a crew
Smasher
together.
of Bad Prison Security.
Beating up of boyfriends at a bar.
He didn't do
That
that.
was-
No, that was Milo.
the other Morb.
Oh,
that was Milo.
The guy.
That was what was
That was
his,
Milo.
what was his name? Something like
Milo
Ravencroft.
Murphy's Law.
Milo Murphy's Law.
No, they called him Milo because the other
kid
guy was
before
dead.
him was named Milo, and he
Ew.
I don't remember
died.
what his actual name
Oh,
was.
yeah.
No, his name was like a reference to like a random Spider-Man character. Let's
Anyway.
find out. No, we're gonna go to the Morbius Wikipedia article and we're gonna find out.
Okay, you do that. I'm gonna eat some fries.
Lucian. Smith was originally announced to play comic character Loxias Crown / Hunger, but was made significantly different. Name is Lucian.
Yeah, that's so
He
much
only did the
better.
role because Karen Gillan told him to do it. That was don't listen to
Yeah,
Karen Gillan.
she said that these superhero projects are fun, and so he played. Milo.
Tip to everyone in Hollywood: don't do what Karen Gillan
And then he had
says.
to do this scene. where he goes like
don't
this.
do
Max,
Morbius.
no one can see you.
You
You
guys-
keep saying
so it's
you
fine.
got to do things like this, and then you keep doing a thing. No one knows what you're
You
doing.
guys know it.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if we know. The show's not for
You
us.
know his
we know it's
scientist-
so.
You,
You
can
know his
point
sci-
the camera a little bit.
You know,
Max, we offered to do that, and you said you
You
didn't
said
want to
no.
be on camera. What's the difference?
Sam, remember Morbius?
Yes, I remember
Remember
Morbius.
his girlfriend lady, his doctor woman
Uh,
girlfriend?
Yeah.
Doctor Girlfriend.
Doctor girlfriend. Apparently, that actress said she based the character off Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
How?
How?
AOC's not a doctor.
She's a congresswoman
And they
and not a doctor.
You don't know her boyfriend who is a doctor.
For
and
those of
is
you who don't
also
know, I
named
based
Michael?
my character on the podcast on President
Barack Obama.
Barack Obama. I don't know. That's the inspiration
Actually, he
for
does
my
have a
whole little
podcast.
character bit that I do.
At least Barack Obama has a podcast.
She based
No,
AOC
Michelle
is never
Obama has a
pregnant.
podcast.
No, Barack Obama has a podcast.
When
with
did he
Bruce
start a
Springsteen.
podcast?
He started it like a
With
while.
Bruce Springsteen?
Yeah, they did like 6 episodes and then they gave up.
Yeah, that sounds like not a.
Michelle
I
Obama
don't
also has a podcast.
But hers is
much
still
more
going.
popular. She's more popular than he is, and he was the president.
Well, yeah, because he's like hasn't done anything since he was the president. Michelle Obama keeps like writing.
Michelle
books and
Obama
stuff.
keeps ghostwriting books. I
She,
mean,
like-
writing books for real.
She hires like a 26-year-old like writer to pump
My
out a new
favorite
book
part
every
is
2
like
years.
they're all like autobiographies. It's like what is left from your life that you have not told yet?
Eventually, we're gonna get to the same amount of content in the Michelle Obama book universe as there is in like
Authored books. Oh,
Star
there's only
Wars.
2. There's only 2 of them.
I wonder if she's written any spin-off books about characters in her books, like starting to like MCU her own life.
Like she's gonna write the spin-off of like her middle school science.
Yeah, like you
teacher.
just start to Star Wars your own life. You start to write spin-offs of real life people you
And
know.
then my middle school science teacher, but from another universe, came out into the class.
No, not like that. Like
So let's see.
okay, anyway.
She's written 2 books.
Phase 2 of the Michelle Obama.
Michelle Obama. Phase 2. Enter Barack.
Wait till you get to phase 3. That's when she becomes the first lady.
Yeah, phase 3 is the first lady, and then phase 4 is the phase about writing the first
phase 4 is the one where she starts to write about writing the other books.
And then as they keep going, the phases just continually become about the other phases that
Seriously
are.
based her character.
It's
She's promoting like her 7th.
she's kind of
book.
like Walter White, you
She's
know.
promoting the 7th book in the series, and she's like, I really took inspiration from the movie Joker
And Barack
because it
turns
says a
to
lot
me.
about society.
Remember when the showrunner for this next season of Rings of Power said that Sauron is going to be like Walter
Like
White?
Walter White, because he's gonna
He's,
do
he's,
that.
he's gonna deal fantasy meth.
Barack turns to me and he says, "Yo, Mrs. Obama, we got to go to the White House, yo."
Mr. Sauron, we gotta get to the tower, yo.
She's like teasing.
No.
them orcs are gonna go starting haywire, man. We got to get to the tower.
Each book ends with like a tease, because you know how Marvel movies always end like with a tease of like
There's a post credits chapter.
The epilogue is like, and then John McCain walked in, and then it like cuts to black.
It says fade to black, even though it's a book.
It's a book. That's the only part.
That's the only like stage direction in the entire
And
book.
eventually they just become like.
She's in the interview and they're like, "Why is there a stage direction at the end?" And
For
she's
our
like,
audience of
"Oh, I thought I was
primarily
writing a play."
Australians who might not know who Michelle Obama is,
Yeah.
she was the wife of the
President,
second to most recent president.
So
She's
not this-
Obama's wife.
not this president or the one before. You all know who the one before was. And
She
then-
was most famous
before
for making school lunches taste worse.
Yes.
And by that I mean she like forced them to be healthy, but that also made them
That was
taste
like
worse.
her main. Did she do anything else really? That was like
She did
her
like
main.
an anti. No, that was
That was Melania.
that was Melania's thing.
The first ladies don't have any actual power, so they always just go on like random.
Except William
campaigns.
Taft's wife, who was
Yeah,
running
that's
the
because
government
Taft
for a while.
was like sick in a bathtub, so she was the president for like
Government
couple years.
jokes. Anyway, okay, we need to move. We did Witcher, and then also like a spiel on Michelle Obama.
Did we didn't even say anything about the Witcher thing, though.
Yeah, it's Henry Cavill's not Henry Cavill
So season
anymore.
3 is gonna come out. He'll be the Witcher in that because that's already filmed. I'm pretty
Yeah, because they filmed that in
They filmed that over this year, and then Liam Hemsworth is going to pick up in season 4 as Geralt.
Geralt.
The reason Henry Cavill dropped out is not officially confirmed, but the rumor is that his management team thinks he's a big movie star now that he's back as Superman, and also apparently there were creative conflicts during this filming of season 2, so they just kind of both decided that he would leave and be replaced with the lesser Hemsworth
Yeah, because he actually like knows the source material.
because
He,
he's
like,
a
read the
big
books?
stupid nerd.
Because he's a big nerdy nerd
Henry
guy.
Cavill's in-
That's what we're talking about.
Max, do you know where you are right now?
No, I cannot focus on
I'm a
anything.
foot of the Himalayas. All right.
That's another president
America
joke.
in one word.
Did you see what he did like recently? Where he
He gave
thanked-
another speech. I saw that.
he gave a thanks to a senator who like died the week before.
No, that was okay. So this time he was thanking a senator who was a congressperson, not a senator. And then
Yes.
before he had thanked he thanked a senator who like died months ago and was like in the audience was like,
and
where's
he sent like a letter to he sent a letter to their family, so he knew
no,
that
he
she
was like
dead.
he was like doing a speech and he was like,
He was-
where's Shelley or whatever.
Yeah, he
And
was like,
Shelley-
"Where is she? Is she here?" And then
everyone was like,
everyone was like, "Dude, she's dead, dude. You can't. She's not here." Anyway,
he doesn't know.
we're
Give
making a
him
lot
break.
of jokes about unrelated things
It's
today.
fine. He's gonna run for re-election. If he runs for re-election and wins, he'll be 86 when he leaves office.
He will not. Anyway, what was I saying? What was
You want to
The
move on to
Witcher?
the next news?
Yeah, so yeah, he's gonna.
Sam,
replace-
let's talk about Star Wars, a subject that's probably just as controversial as politics.
if not arguably more so.
yes,
Because okay, here's my reasoning for that. The government will change. It changes every 4 years.
true.
Star Wars doesn't change. Once something is Star Wars canon, it's
It is
basically
made.
canon forever,
Unless they decide,
unless a
it
different company buys it and gets rid of stuff.
well,
So,
Sam,
or if you write a book and then Dave Filoni later decides, actually, okay, your book, yeah, that's super cool. It's not canon anymore, though. I hope you're okay with that.
Sam, I know what you're thinking. Star Wars is in a time of kind of all over the place, right? They need a script. They need a guy who can make a non-controversial Star Wars project, right?
Uh-huh.
Someone who's the epitome of quality. Well, Sam, they've hired the creator of such acclaimed works as Lost,
Ooh,
Cowboys and Aliens,
that's a movie.
Prometheus,
That's also a movie.
World War Z,
Yeah.
Tomorrowland,
The one about the Disney park.
Star Trek Into Darkness,
I think I saw that one.
The Hunt.
I don't know what that is.
That was the one with the where they're all. It came out in 2020. It was.
Oh, is that
came
the
out
one
like-
where they hunt like political figures? or something?
Yeah, that was the came out like a week before COVID hit. So no
Yeah.
one saw it. I'm of course talking about Damon Lindelof,
That's a real name he has.
aka J.J. Abrams' friend.
J.J. Abrams' buddy.
He's gonna co-write and produce a Star Wars movie, that will be directed by, I'm gonna butcher another name, Sharmeen Obaid Chinoy. who worked on Miss Marvel, directed a couple episodes of that. It's going to be a standalone project set.
Didn't they also work on Batgirl?
No, there was, I think, 3 sets of directors for Miss Marvel. The pair of dudes.
I thought the
went to
people
work
who were
on
making
Batgirl.
Batgirl also made.
Two of the directors, they directed like a couple episodes. A couple of the directors of Miss Marvel were doing Batgirl. It's a different director of Miss Marvel.
Okay, different one. Okay.
Yes, the movie will be a standalone project set after Episode 9. It will
Ooh.
not be a continuation of the Skywalker saga. It is possible, however, that characters from the sequel trilogy will show up in this.
Do the thing I said in 2018. Do it. Okay, bye.
It is unknown who Lindelof is writing the script with.
Do the cool thing
and
I
it's
pitched.
very, very early on in development.
My ideas are better than yours. Just use them
Sam,
for free. I'll give them to you for free.
what do
How's
you
that sound?
want out of a Star Wars movie that takes place after
Do you want me to
Episode 9?
pitch this a third time on the podcast?
Well, what should they do? Like, if they're gonna do, because if it's not gonna be like a direct continuation, right? They're not gonna have it be about like Rey or whatever.
Mhm.
What do you explore? What new part of the Star Wars very limited canon do you explore?
Okay.
What happened to all those Star
Tatooine.
Destroyers?
Guys, we haven't seen enough Tatooine.
Shut up. So, Rey is the Grandmaster of the Jedi. She's kind of taking on a Yoda role in the prequels, so she's not an active participant in like the story that's happening. She's more of a background character. Finn is now a Jedi Knight in the Jedi Order,
Mhm.
maybe on the Council. That can be however it is. The Jedi Order isn't called the Jedi Order. It's called like maybe the Skywalkers.
They're not
something
gonna
like
do that.
They'll just call they won't call it the Jedi Order. They'll call it something
No,
different.
they're gonna call it the Jedi, right?
No, they're gonna call it something different.
No, the Jedi is the brand name.
It doesn't matter.
That's what they'll call.
No, the Jedi are dead. That was the whole point.
No, she was the last Jedi.
Yes,
Now she's got.
you're correct. She was the last Jedi, as in the one that is the last of the ones that there is.
Jedi.
No, she's the last one.
No.
Now
she's
it's a
gonna
new
make
thing.
More.
They're called the
For marketing
Skywalkers or something. It
purposes.
doesn't matter. They're just
No,
not called the
gonna
Jedi Order.
Call it the Skywalkers because they don't want it
They're
to be a
called
Skywalker
the
thing.
Skywalker sagas. And
Yeah,
Oh,
Mac.
I like that idea.
Anyway, so that's like what the characters who were part of the original, the sequel trilogy are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Finn's girlfriend is also not Rose, his other
Which-
girlfriend, the one who's force sensitive in a storm.
Oh, the girl Finn.
Girl Finn, yes.
Yeah.
Were they a thing?
No,
No. Okay, then
it was.
She's just
Rey,
also
and then
there.
It was Rose, and then it was Rey again. And
we'll
then there
stick
were-
with Rose. They're a couple now. They have a
Well,
force.
Finn is force sensitive.
Okay, so that we're getting rid of the whole Jedi
Can we
can't marry.
finally reveal what his question was that he was going to ask?
Yeah, he asked that
Or
off
whatever he
screen
had
a
to
long
tell.
time. They'll do that in a comic book.
That's true. It's probably in the movie novelization.
Yeah. He has a kid with Rose. That kid is in the Order.
Oh,
as
we're
well.
bringing Rose back?
Yeah, we're bringing her back.
That's going to be controversial, Sam.
She's not going to be on screen. We're just going to know that Finn's kid is also
Internet
hers.
nerd yellers will yell about it.
And they're going to be force
For-
sensitive. Broom Kid is going to be one of the main characters.
Are you like they're actually? This is a terrible pitch.
No, okay. I'm mixing what I want to happen with what I know will happen. We know Broom Kid's got to be in there because it's Star Wars, and Star Wars always does that thing where, like, oh, you remember minor on-screen character
Yeah.
for 2 seconds?
He's
They're
probably
the main
already got.
character
He's
now.
probably already got like a pog.
He's a Jedi Knight. He might not be the main character. I think they should focus on a group of Padawans.
Well, will they include him because he's from the last Jedi?
Yeah, they will include him. He'll be again. He might not be a main character, but he'll be around. Like we'll see him walking around
But
the Jedi
Last
Temple.
Jedi isn't popular.
It doesn't matter.
People don't like
That
it.
doesn't matter.
Sam, they do whatever
The
fans
prequels
want.
were dramatically unpopular, and they got 7 seasons of a TV show and like 3
yeah, but
spin-off
that was
movies.
back when George Lucas was in charge. This
So?
is Disney. Disney will just pander to whatever the audience wants.
Yes, and they're pandering by doing the things I'm about to say. So shush. We're focusing on a group of Padawans. One of them is the child of Cal Kestis and his witch girlfriend. What's her name? Mirren? Something like that.
Huh?
Remember Jedi Fallen Order?
Yes.
Okay, remember Cal Kestis?
Yes, I remember Cal Kestis.
Remember how him and the witch lady had like a little flirty thing going on?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, they're a couple now. They have a kid. They're not the main characters. Their kid is one of the main characters, though.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Hang
got
on.
that?
There's more things here.
Do you want me to pitch the
So
thing, or do you want to
Damon
keep, like,
Lindelof,
saying
he's
stuff?
co-writing the movie with Justin Brett Gibson, who I will look that up. No, I'm not talking about the Houston Texans center, although I would like to look at that later. Let's see. He is the writer of a bunch of stuff you've never heard of,
All right.
including the TV series Counterpart, TV series The Strain, TV series Banshee. What was Counterpart?
Get to your point.
Oh, and apparently there was a writer's room assembled for the movie, which
Okay.
may have included Dave Filoni.
It better have included.
So
Dave
there was a
Filoni.
writer's room for a movie, which is not a normal thing.
Well, maybe that's just how they're doing things from now on.
Why? Because they can't make a decision without the director getting fired from the movie every single time?
Yes.
How long do you think this director will last before they're fired?
3 years and they will be replaced.
You think they're going to start... The real question is, will they start shooting before they're fired, or will they...
The movie will come out in 2025. They will.
2025? That's awfully close.
Yes. The movie will come out in 2025.
No. Oh, yeah,
Next
that's
year,
nice.
the director will leave and be replaced by a studio puppet, and they will make the rest of the movie.
I love studio puppets. Bring back Ron Howard.
Dave Filoni will be involved, but he'll be a producer. He will not be a writer.
Is he gonna? If Dave Filoni's involved, is it gonna be like about a character we already know? Like who's around?
If it is, it will be about Ahsoka.
Ahsoka the movie.
Ahsoka, Dave Filoni's girlfriend, his favorite character.
But I don't. But he wouldn't let, because he's not technically a writer on the movie.
It
So
doesn't
he
matter.
wouldn't let someone else do a whole movie about a character.
If it is about a character that
Ahsoka's
he made.
his baby. Like he's involved in
Yeah, that's like
everything
his kid.
Ahsoka's in.
Anyway, what was I saying? I'm done. I guess we'll just
Tales
not.
of the Jedi episodes. Those really boring Tales of the Jedi episodes.
I thought that they were really good. We should talk about that for our review.
Yeah, I guess we could.
Okay. Anyway. Okay. So I guess we'll talk about that later. Yeah. What I want them to do. Basically all the characters from the sequels are background characters now. We're focusing on kids of some of them. They're like the Force sensitive ones are Padawans. We're going back to like Jedi stuff. There's gonna be lots of Jedi. They won't be called Jedi though. They'll be called something else.
Called Jedi.
The Force ghosts will just like be around, and they'll just be like Jedi masters in the temple that just like live there, and they'll just be around because I don't think they know what to do with Force ghosts anymore. So they'll just basically just be functional main
I think
characters.
they're gonna do away with the Force ghosts.
You think they'll come up with? You think it'll be like? Are they gonna
No,
recanonize?
because everyone who is a Force ghost is like dead in real life.
Okay, so here's the thing about they completely changed how Force ghosts works.
Yeah, because you used to need to have to like learn how to do it.
Okay, so for
But
one,
technically that was changed in 1983 when Return of the Jedi came.
one used to every Jedi became a Force ghost.
That's true.
Then they changed it to you had to learn how to become a Force
Except
ghost.
for Anakin, who got to do
Except
it
for
free,
Anakin, but he's the chosen one, so he gets a pass.
I guess.
And then they changed it to you have to learn, but you got to learn really good, or you won't fully come back all the way. But actually, you can.
Or you're a
Qui-Gon
named
just didn't want to show
character.
up at the end.
Or you're a named character and you just get to do it because you're in the movie.
And then they changed it to everyone is a Force ghost, and they just are
And
a Force
sometimes
ghost,
they
and
can
they're
summon
around.
lightning bolts out of the sky.
And sometimes they can summon because used to you could not retain your personal identity when you become part of the living force. You become part of the living force, and that's it. You're not sentient anymore.
Became a Force power.
But now in Episode 9, when Rey's fighting Palpatine,
Mm-hmm. He hears all those ghost voices.
the voices of nearly every named Jedi in the movies can like speak to her.
Yeah.
Which means that I don't know if they've all retained their identities, or maybe the Force just sounds like them because they're part of the Force.
Or because J.J. Abrams doesn't know how the Force works and just wrote that in.
That's the main thing. But now that that's in the movie, they're gonna have to come up with a reason for why that happened.
I think they'll just inexplicably be gone. Because the Force Ghost, there's too many of them. Two.
Okay, it's just Luke, which Luke and Leia and Anakin are, because they're all chosen ones, so that's fine. There's then there's Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Yoda. There's only 6.
No, but also every one of those.
I think those voices are not Force ghosts.
Obi-Wan can Force Ghost, right?
Yes, Obi-Wan can Force ghost. Yoda.
Obi-Wan, Yoda,
Yoda
Anakin,
teaches him.
Luke, Leia, Qui-Gon.
It's Luke, Leia,
Who else?
Anakin.
Force Ghost.
Then Yoda, Obi-Wan,
I
Qui-Gon.
swear
That's
someone
it.
else does a Force Ghost at some point.
That's there's the only characters that have Force ghosting.
Hmm.
Then we hear the other characters' voices,
Yeah.
but I think that that's just the Force. I don't think that that was those characters talking. I think that's just the Force talking in the voice of those characters, and we've seen that before. That's not the first time we've seen that. We see that when Rey touches the lightsaber in Maz Kanata's little place.
Yeah.
She just hears the Force talking to her through dialogue clips of characters we've heard before.
They cut out audio of Alec Guinness saying words.
Yeah, and that's just the Force talking to her. That's not those characters.
Yeah,
So I think there is precedent for that. I think that's what was going on. I think it just manifested that way because that's the most fan servicey way to do it.
I think
In
the Force is a non-defined entity, and they can just basically.
okay, it is defined. Like it is defined.
It is until it isn't.
They change it every once in a while, but usually there's a reason.
It was one way for 17 years, and then George Lucas decided it was midichlorians. So,
Well, that was his like scientific explanation for how it
because he
exists.
tried to turn the prequels into sci-fi movies for some
He
reason.
just wanted it to. I think he just wanted a reason why some characters have the Force and some don't. And
I guess.
I think that is important. I think that the midichlorians kind of needed to exist because otherwise, why doesn't everyone just use the Force?
Because they weren't trained.
Exactly, but why doesn't everyone just train then?
Because it's hard.
If you could learn a magic thing that lets you see the future, move things with your mind control people, shoot lightning out of your hands, why wouldn't everyone learn how to do it?
Because it's super hard.
But is it?
And not everyone has those ancient Jedi books sitting in that tree.
But I think that my
Where
point is
did he
that
get those?
those were from the Jedi Temple.
When did he go to the Jedi Temple?
When they beat the Empire. You know that Palpatine
Didn't
lived in the Jedi
Palpatine
Temple.
burn that down?
No, he lived in it.
I thought he burned all the Jedi stuff though.
He burned most of it. Some of
Isn't
it
that in a
survived.
comic book?
No, because
He burns Yoda's lightsaber.
Joe Costa knew, like, tried to save a bunch of stuff
She
from
save
the
it on like
archives.
a USB drive.
Yeah, even though she didn't know like
She
half of
save
what
it
was
to
in
the
there.
cloud.
No, she just grabbed it. It's a book, Tucker.
Why didn't they have digital copies of the books?
But what was I even saying? Okay,
What were we talking about?
Star Wars.
Star Wars, right?
so I think that like that stuff makes sense. We were talking about the Force is just as a concept.
Who are they gonna fight, Sam? That's the real question.
They're gonna fight
Which
the.
metaphor for fascism will it be this time?
So okay, we're done with empires. Stop it. Not doing that again.
Sam, I don't.
They might. There's like an 80% chance that that's what they're
But
gonna
they
do.
don't know how to write Star Wars without the Empire. So we're just gonna, we're just
Well,
gonna
no,
do
because
another Empire, right?
the prequels weren't an empire. It was like a rebellion that
That's
they were
true.
fighting
It was
against. They were trying to crush a rebellion.
They were doing the Confederacy and the Union from the Civil War.
Yeah,
But then we went back to doing the Nazis again.
which that's
What other political group? Can we do the Soviet Union?
no. We're not doing that. We're not doing like the gov. I don't think the government stuff is going to play as big a role in this.
What do
this
you
new
think
series.
it is, though?
I think we're going to focus more on the dark side and the light side again.
You're gonna do a Jedi story.
I think it's going to be more of a Jedi story.
Does anyone want Jedi stories nowadays?
We haven't really had one
I know,
since Clone
because
Wars.
the hip cool thing is
And
to
Clone
do
Wars
the-
is not
the-
even really a Jedi story either.
I know, but the hip cool thing right now is to do the not Jedi stuff. It's to do Mandalorian and Andor and whatever else.
Yes, which means there's a hole in the market for Jedi story stuff.
Yes. So
Also, the movies are always the Jedi story.
are we gonna finally do a time travel? A crappy
No,
time travel?
we already did that in Rebels and it was dumb.
Well, Damon Lindelof is great at random.
Well, they
stupid things.
destroyed the time travel thing. It's gone now.
Well, there's Miracle Blood in Star Trek Into Darkness,
Shh.
and Lost takes place
Okay,
in Purgatory.
we're not doing that right now. What was I saying? You keep going off on other
Also,
things
they
that are
didn't
not
destroy
related.
the time.
Yes, they did. They set it on fire. We've been through this.
I think it's an episode of this podcast where you argue that they didn't destroy the big time travel cave.
They set the whole cave on fire and they
Yeah, but
crushed it.
you were saying like, oh, but it goes on beyond that, so there's more of it.
I mean, it might, but I don't want them to use it.
Remember when they introduced that and then never explained it or did anything with it?
It's just the Force.
The Force, the Force.
It's the Force.
You know, way to write yourself out of a situation. It's the Force. It's the Force, guys. It's just
The funny
Force
thing is
right.
that they didn't even need to do that because Ahsoka survived that fight.
No, because she got pulled out of the time door.
No. At the end of the episode, she walks out of that temple alive.
Yeah, because he puts her
Podcast
back
off.
and
Yeah, that's stupid. Why would
it's
you do that?
podcast
I'm gonna pull you out and I'm gonna drop you off right next to it. Okay, anyway, what was I saying? You keep saying things, and then I don't know what I was saying before. What were we talking
Who
about?
are they gonna fight? That's
Who are
what
they going to fight? Yes.
Empire 2.
So the Knights of Ren are a concept that were introduced and
But they're all dead.
completely ignored. Completely ignored
They're all
entirely.
dead.
Yes, they're all dead. But who trained them? What even are they?
Kylo Ren trained them.
Did he?
I think it's in a comic book.
It's in a comic book, but what do we know about Star Wars comic books?
Oh, they're not canon.
They're not canon,
because
and they
none
don't
of the
count
people
at
who
all.
write Star Wars read them.
Exactly. So here's what we're going to do.
There's just not enough source material.
There's just not enough source material. So we're going to do the Lost Tribe of the Sith. We're going to bring that
We're
back.
gonna do
as a
the
concept.
Sith again.
They're not going to be called the Sith. They're going to have a different name.
They're just gonna have red lightsabers.
Maybe?
They're all gonna wear the dark robes, and they're gonna have yellow eyes, and they're gonna use red
Tucker,
lightsabers.
that's who they fight in Star Wars.
Can we
Okay,
do
Tucker,
something else, please?
If you want them to fight someone else, watch something that's not Star Wars. The whole thing of Star Wars is it's the Jedi and the Sith and then a lot of government politics. That's what Star Wars is. If you want something that's not that, watch not Star Wars.
So they're gonna fight a cult.
Probably. We haven't done that before.
My question is, how do we work the Soviet Union? How do we work in our metaphor for Trump? Because that's the real question.
That'll be the leader of the cult.
It'll be Donald Trump.
Yeah, but he'll be a Sith.
Because Damon Lindelof is highly political, and also because they think like they're really deep when they do that.
Okay, so they're going to be fighting some version of the Lost Tribe of the Sith. I think that's what they're going to draw inspiration from. But I think they're
know
going to
what
have
that
like really
is.
weird force powers that we haven't seen before. Like I mentioned before, like instead of force lightning, like force fire,
Force lightning, but it's
or like maybe
purple.
the ability to use the force to bend space. You
How
could
would
like
you bend?
tell-
How do you bend space?
by increasing the amount of mass in a given area.
Like, what? Like,
Do a physics. They're going to use the force to do
physics.
like okay, so you know how you can use the force to move things around?
Yes,
What if you could use the force to move space around?
space is nothing.
No, it's not. It is
It's
something.
a bunch of space dust.
No, not the stuff in space. Space itself.
Yeah, space itself is nothing.
No, it is something.
What is it?
It's like the fabric of reality.
They can bend reality.
To an extent, yes. So I'm saying, like, what if you could use the force to just move one place to another place?
That's too OP.
Yeah, but that'd be a cool thing to see them fight against.
I think they're
Wait,
gonna
didn't
do.
you have this idea that one time?
Yeah, I'm pitching it again.
Yeah, we did
Yes,
a
that's
whole
what we're doing.
episode on it. It's in a podcast. It's like the 6th episode.
Yes,
we
these are
did.
mine. I've been talking, so I haven't eaten them.
No, but okay. Here's what's actually.
But I think that's what I want to happen in a new Star Wars story. Some
So-
version of that. You can watch our older episodes. I gave like a whole 20-minute spiel where I explained it much more
So
clearly.
here's what is actually gonna happen. So there's a new main character.
His name's
It's a girl.
his name's Suk Lai
You
Walker.
stupid idiot. Of course it's gonna be a woman.
No, they're gonna go
It's
back.
a
They're
female
gonna go.
director. It has to be a female main character.
No, they're gonna go back
That's
to
how
doing.
Hollywood thinks.
They're gonna go back to doing a man though, because remember
no,
people
because the
didn't like.
Mandalorian's a guy.
So
That's too. Gotta balance it
Not
out.
the main character.
so
Gotta balance it out. There's gotta be a fun, or
no.
cool new
What?
female main character.
That is so.
And they have to make up for Rey
The
being.
TV show character.
They have
is
to
the-
make up for Rey being a boring protagonist.
Fett's
So
a
they have
guy.
to introduce.
No,
a-
Ray was a fun protagonist. She just didn't have anything to
No,
do.
Daisy Ridley was charismatic. That character was just like a blank slate of wood. But
No, Hayden Christensen was a blank slate of wood, but he had things to do. It's the exact opposite.
what is in that? Washing
Shoes,
machine?
probably.
We got our cool new main character, right? She works for the New Republic, right?
And I think she should be the daughter of Cal
I don't think
Kestis.
they'll go that far.
Yes, they will.
Where it's like the doctor of the daughter.
They
of
always do
another
that.
character.
It'll
Well,
be the
also,
daughter
it's
of
been-
Cal Kestis and the
They're not going to
Dathomir
do
and
that
Witch Girl.
because the people who haven't played that game aren't going to know who those people are.
But that's fine. We'll introduce them in the movie.
But they're going to be dead at this point.
No, they're not.
It's going to have to be like 40 years. No, it'll be even longer than that. Because
No, it'll take place shortly after.
Fallen
Episode-
Order takes place like 6 years after episode 6, right? Or
Yeah.
episode
So
3,
what?
right?
He's like what?
So then
maybe
it-
20 in that.
Then there's like 13 years in between Fallen Order and episode 4.
So he's 63.
And then there's like 3 years between episodes 4 and 6, right?
Mhm.
And then there's 30 years in between episodes 6 and 7. And then there's an unknown amount of time in between 9 and whatever this thing is.
Yes. And how long do Dathomir and witches live?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Cal Kestis is definitely dead from elderly age.
Yeah, but she can
What
go.
if he dies in the game?
She can
What
go,
are they gonna do?
woo, magic.
No, they're
door,
not gonna
that's what
do-
your dad looks like.
They're not going to focus on any characters who have not appeared in live action before. Because that's stupid because no one's going to know who they are.
I think they might. I think they could.
I think that's fanboy talking.
Yeah, but I want it to happen, so I'm gonna say I want it to happen.
They're not going to do that. It's going to be a new main character. She's going to work for the Republic Security Task Force or whatever, which is going to be headed by like a minor character from the sequels.
You think the
Will be-
Republic's just gonna be evil? And it's
will
gonna
be
the
for
thing?
like 2 scenes. The plot will either be corrupt government, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or your Sith cult, that might actually be a thing, because then they can do a metaphor for how religion is bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then, or the First Order is back, but they're smaller again, and they're stormtroopers and Star Destroyers.
The cult wants to resurrect Palpatine.
Yes, and then we can bring Palpatine back. And
He
that's what
he
matters.
doesn't come back, but he almost does.
You see like a hand reach out of a big hole.
Yeah, and then they just barely stop.
Can we do a sky beam? Can we do
They'll-
a Star Wars sky
a
beam?
red?
That's what
a
I want.
Red sky
Red
beam.
sky made out of force lightning.
Yeah,
Now we're talking, Sam.
and the Death Star comes out of it.
And then the Death Star, and then in the sequel we bring in time travel, and that's when we bring everyone back. Darth Vader shows up. Emperor Palpatine shows up.
Every dark side and every light side character,
That's
then they
right.
fight.
The physical embodiment of both. A big light man shows up. He goes, "I'm the light side of the
No, he's
Force."
just a lightsaber, big blue lightsaber.
Yes, a big no. And then a character shows up. Our new main character.
All the Jedi have to team up to move it around.
And our new main character will also be a Jedi. She'll have a,
No, she'll just be a lightsaber.
her lightsaber. Will
A
be-
girl lightsaber, though.
It'll have 4 blades, each sticking out, and then those blades will have blades come off of them.
And it'll be 70% shorter than the male lightsabers. For it'll be a metaphor for the wage
That's the
gap.
metaphor for the wage gap. Yes. See, Star
So-
Wars
such
is
dumb-
so smart. It says
Okay.
a lot about society.
Moving on,
No,
Green Lantern
it's not-
series rework.
just so you know, we're saying all this. This movie is not going to get made.
No. Well, okay. No, this movie will get made.
I don't
Just not
think-
by these people.
No, the director will be fired, and they'll rewrite the script 94 times.
They will eventually make more Star Wars content.
Whatever this
That takes place after episode 9.
whatever this starts out as will turn up as a movie, but it will not be anything what it was originally.
Because the whole of the Star Wars universe is not going to begin with Acolyte and end with
no, because
Rise of Skywalker. They will eventually go beyond the borders of what has been established.
to do
they
the
have to.
same thing they've
They
always
have
done.
to, or people will leave. That's just how it works.
Sam, Star Wars has been like driving in the same circle for like
the Star
60
Wars fan
years.
base was nearly dead before Disney bought Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
For a long time.
I mean, it was dormant 'cause
outside
they hadn't made a movie. in,
Outside
like,
of
10
Clone
years.
Wars, the fan base was largely dead.
It was not dead.
It wasn't dead, but there was no discussion.
It wasn't as active because there hadn't been a movie in 8 years.
Exactly, because there was no. There was
Also no movie for 16 years between episodes 6 and 1.
Yeah, and that's when the fan base was not doing anything.
Well, they were still
The only reason why the
reading
fan base,
comics and watching TV shows.
the only reason why the fan base is as active as it is now is because of Disney
because
Plus.
Disney is
Because
milking it.
Disney is pumping out new content and giving people more things to talk
But is
about.
anybody watching it?
Yes,
Is
lots of
anyone
people are
it?
watching.
anything other than the Mandalorian.
Yes,
Does anyone have you met anyone who always watched Tales of the
Andor was trending yesterday on Twitter.
It was?
Yes,
What did it air? Oh yeah, there was a new
there
episode.
was a new episode yesterday.
We'll have to see how it does on them Nielsen
whoa.
streaming metrics.
Oh, whoa, podcast dog, you have dirt in your hair. You
She
do.
does. She's been rolling
You're a
in dirt.
dirty, dirty little dog.
Oh, she rolled around in like.
Yeah, I
No,
would
you
not.
rolled around a rabbit poo. I'm glad I'm eating right now. All right. What was I saying? Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. We've talked about Star Wars for
Sam,
like
let's talk
an
about
hour.
a different sci-fi franchise that is in shambles.
Green Lantern.
Green Lantern. So we've been hearing about this HBO Max. Green
I would
Lantern
argue
show.
Green Lantern is more science fantasy than science fiction.
I mean, so is Star Wars. Star Wars is also science fantasy.
Yes, I know. I'm saying that it's more like Star Wars than Star Trek.
Well, yes, everything is more like Star Wars than Star Trek because Star
That's
Wars
because
is
Star
more,
Trek's
more
really
popular
boring.
since 1977.
Yep.
The Green Lantern HBO Max show that we've been hearing about since before HBO Max was even officially announced,
Yes.
which was 4 years ago now. It's being scrapped. They had 8 scripts. They had cast Guy Gardner. You can't find it. They had cast Guy Gardner. They had a showrunner. They were all rearing to go, and then they decided to throw everything out. So all 8 scripts have been thrown in the garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Seth Grahame-Smith, who was the head writer and the showrunner, has been fired
Mhm.
or departed the series. in agreement
Amicably.
with the studio. The show will no longer focus on Alan Scott and Guy Gardner. It will now be about Jon Stewart because it's a character people actually like
Because they actually like him.
and
He's
know
cool.
who he is. And
He's
he's
actually a good
cooler
character?
than Guy Gardner and not as annoying.
Because even
This is
the
a smart move.
in universe, the other Green Lanterns don't even like Guy Gardner because he's annoying.
Yes, that's kind of his bit. And then Alan Scott is
No,
barely a
oh
Green
my
Lantern.
gosh, don't. He's not even a Green Lantern. He's just a guy who found some
Well,
of the
he's
metal.
retroactively been added to the Green Lantern.
He's just a guy who found some of the metal they used to make a Green Lantern ring and then made his own
What
Green
was
Lantern ring.
his stupid backstory? It's really dumb. It was in the 40s and
He was the first Green Lantern
Yeah.
ever, like in any of the comics. And so they hadn't flushed out how the Green Lanterns work. So he just had like a sort of random grab bag of powers, and he had a random. All his weaknesses are random.
so
Like he couldn't affect wood. He couldn't affect yellow things, which that kind of carried over later, but not the wood thing.
he found a meteorite that had a green flame in it. He forged it into a ring and a lantern, and that's what gave him the Green Lantern ring. His weaknesses were the color yellow and wood. Like all wood.
Yeah, and so like the newer Green Lanterns, their rings still don't affect the color yellow, but that's because yellow is the color of fear, and each like ring color represents a different emotion, and willpower is weak to fear. That's just like it's like Pokemon.
My one problem with this Green Lantern show is that Greg Berlanti is still involved.
Why is he allowed to do anything?
I don't know. They keep putting him in charge of all the DC television shows.
No, have we not learned from every CW show that would stop?
This is not good. Quit.
We don't need another CW show.
Although I guess James Gunn and Peter Safran are in charge technically of this now. So who knows how this fits into whatever
Maybe
their
it will be
plan's going to
good.
be. What?
Maybe it will be good. Who knows?
I mean, I'm assuming it's now going to be connected to everything else that's going on, since there's no reason for it not to be now.
Did you see the Jon Stewart movie they just made?
The what?
The animated movie they just made that everyone didn't like?
Oh, the Green Lantern one? Did everyone not like that one? I saw that.
I think I saw people on like TikTok complaining about it, but I haven't seen
Was it because they kill Hal Jordan?
I think so.
Yeah, I could see why they wouldn't like that. Well, they can just bring him back. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
use
No
the-
one ever dies.
No one ever dies.
But I cannot wait. My favorite part about this Green Lantern thing is I cannot wait for all the Snyder fans
Mhm.
who, because you know how he was gonna be in Zack Snyder's Justice League and they had cast him and everything. I can't wait for all of them to complain that Green Lantern was better than this Green Lantern, even though that Green Lantern never even actually showed up in anything.
Yeah, we only have concept art.
My
of him.
favorite part of all current DC projects is the Snyder fans yelling about them for no reason
How
at
the
all.
Snyder version is better, even though it
How the
barely
Snyder
existed.
version is better, even though it doesn't exist. Man of Steel 2 would have been better if Zack Snyder directed.
It's just because your imagination is always cooler than what you get.
Especially if your imagination is a very, very specific version of everything that's completely wrong with its source material.
Yeah,
Batman kills people with a machine gun all the time.
it's cooler that way. It's more realistic.
He's cooler and edgy.
All right, moving
We're
on.
living in a fantasy world if Batman doesn't kill,
It's
even though Batman's not a real character.
and he lives in a fantasy world.
He fights a clown,
He fights an evil clown man
dresses in a bat costume, and fights a man made of clay.
with a 12-year-old boy in
With a
his underwear.
12-year-old boy in his underwear, and he beats him by throwing shurikens shaped like bats at him.
He's like a ninja also.
This is a very
He was trained by
real
ninjas
world.
too, and he's also the smartest man in the world. And he also has $1 billion, and he also
He has a giant-
he has 12 master's degrees. And he's a giant penis. And he gets every woman he ever likes.
Hey, he's not an alcoholic.
And he's
no,
not
he is an alcoholic because they would think that's cool.
And he's also the best ninja, and he knows every ninja move, and he can dodge undodgeable lasers. And like Batman's just like if you ask.
And you know what? He's just gonna be played by. Why can't Zack Snyder just play him?
Yeah.
Why
Zack
can't
Snyder's a great
Snyder
Batman.
Just play every character in the DC universe.
He can be Superman too.
He can be Superman too. He can be the Flash. He can be Cyborg. That would go over really well with this crew. I mean, it would be great if Zack Snyder could play literally every character. He should film like his planned sequels, like alone by himself in his garage, and he's just playing every single person in the entire movie.
Yep, that would be funny. All right. Next thing, we got some new Marvel trailers. Let's get those going.
Sam, are you excited for the next Marvel film?
Ant-Man and the Ant-Man.
Well, it's technically Black Panther that comes out first.
I'm excited for Black Panther.
I want to see what it is.
The reviews have dampened some of my excitement. I'm a little bit worried that it might not be
Why,
great.
Sam? It's so positive.
I don't know. Okay, for one, this is the first ever concluding chapter we've had to a phase where it's not a team up movie.
Hang on one second. I'm gonna get the.
Which, okay, that's not
Eating
technically
garbage.
true. We had like Ant-Man and we had Spider-Man, but those weren't really the conclusions. Saying those are the
Actually,
conclusions is a little bit disingenuous. You know it's
I
Avengers.
can't get out.
What's she's eating the shoe.
Eating a shoe.
Oh no, she has a baseball.
Arf.
Murph. Tina dropped a
We're
baseball.
out of fries.
Okay, anyway.
Pick her out.
Yeah, so
Oh, it doesn't have an RT score yet. That's not a good sign.
anyway, it's coming out this week? This weekend?
Next week.
Next weekend. Yeah. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, and then after that, after our new mystery Black Panther is revealed, Sam, gosh darn, who could it be?
Definitely not the girl who's got the same guns
Could
and
it
the
be
same
Shuri?
body and the same face. And
Probably, it's definitely. Why are they? Even
it's Shuri.
pretending-
I don't know why they're doing
are
this
they
bit.
doing? It's just like in the trail. Why are they they're doing interviews?
Yeah, they had that thing where they had Straw Hat Goofy go like, I bet it's the Queen. She's a Black Panther too.
Yes, I'm
She's
sure it's
definitely
the
not too old.
58-year-old woman.
Yes, that's who they're going to hedge their new.
That's the future of their franchise.
You get back here.
Is 64-year-old Angela Bassett.
No,
That's who
we're
they're
not
gonna go
saying
with.
old people can't be superheroes.
I'm saying old
they
people
can't.
can't be superheroes.
But you don't want to pass the torch to someone who's older than your previous lead.
that's a stupid.
That's
plan.
more just like burning the torch more and then saying you passed it on.
What if instead of Ezra Miller it was a 79-year-old man?
We'll get the guy who played the Flash's dad in the Flash show to do it.
We'll get John Wesley Shipp.
Yeah, he'll do it.
Anyway, after our new Black Panther is revealed, our next Marvel film will be the third Ant-Man film, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
And for that,
The font for the movie has changed again,
and it's legible this time.
more legible than last time.
It wasn't legible at all last time.
Last time it
Oh,
was.
why are my
weird.
shoes tied together? What? Okay, there.
The dog did that.
There, French fry in my
So
French
this
fry in my
trailer,
shoe.
we got a lot of fun stuff. Sam, if you pause it very quick.
But
So could you rewind it as well? So we start off our trailer. Our boy Scott
gotta
Lang,
move.
55-year-old Paul Rudd,
gotta move out of the way.
the only exception to the old rule. Oh my gosh, the podcast dog is left.
He's leaving. All right.
Scott Lang, he's famous now. Everyone loves him. Pause it.
Pause.
He's famous. There's a fun.
That's not an arc reactor.
No, it isn't. There's a fun.
Why does it have a VGA port?
Sam, why?
Why are they plugging this thing into a monitor?
Give me.
Why does
wait.
it have a VGA port? their quantum
Okay.
realm. Their quantum realm machine has a.
For our audio
has a VGA
listeners,
port.
Sam has paused the trailer on a shot
Actually,
of the
actually doubles
quantum
as an
realm
Xbox.
portal, and their little device is just like made up of like prop,
It's
like
made out of
metal
like random
pieces,
electronic bits.
and then there's a VGA port just like drilled into the
Which,
side.
for those of you who don't know, which is probably all of you, VGA ports are like the
There's-
precursor to HDMI ports.
There's like a Chromebook charger
Yeah, just like plugged into the side
plugged
here.
in, and then there's a VGA port in case you want to output it.
Yeah, in
to
case you want to output your
an
quantum
early-
realm to a
an
monitor.
early 2000s monitor.
All
That's
right,
not HD.
moving on. This is too
pause it again.
distracting. Oh,
So he's at Baskin Robbins, right? He's an employee of the century because he did.
because he saved the world.
And he's got a stupid new costume that looks really bad. If you want to do it 10 more seconds, please. Go back again. Yeah, we'll just start from the start. So yeah, he's at
And he's walking. He's a chill. Everyone loves him
He's at
now.
Baskin Robbins. The
Employee of
guy
the
from the
century.
manager from the first movie.
He's
His
got a
new
more
costume,
like Iron Man looking
it
costume.
sucks. I don't like it at all. I hate the stupid circle in
I
the middle.
honestly did not know it was different from his last one.
Yeah,
If
it
I'm being
looks-
totally
I
honest with
don't
you.
like how it looks like an Iron Man suit. I don't like how every Marvel character's costume looks progressively more and more like an Iron
it
Man
just
suit the
looks
more
like
they go
a
on.
video. Looks like
He's got like
video game or
stupid like
No,
traffic
you
lights
know what?
on his
No,
shoulder.
You know what it looks like?
Like Spy Kids.
No.
Everyone's already made that bit. Made that joke. Everyone was goofing and joshing.
Totally
Oh my god, Sam! Sam has pulled
No!
up a picture of a Fortnite skin
It's it's not coming up on
because
the thing.
Sam is knowledgeable about two
No,
things:
look.
Fortnite.
Look, it's look like this. This and this. That's aim.
I read the comics I've played Fortnite. I know the lore. But yeah, he's the employee of the century at Baskin Robbins. So Baskin Robbins paid Marvel some change
I mean, they were in the
to
last
get that put in the movie.
There he
he's
is.
friends with all the kids. Evangeline Lilly's pause is back as Hope. Her haircut is terrible. I don't know
She
whose
just cut her
idea
hair.
that
That's
was.
Hope.
She probably
Yep.
just is doing another movie and
All of her
like
haircuts
that.
are bad. They need to find a way to get her like a good haircut. And then we see
There's the daughter.
so they recast Cassie Lang.
It's the girl who played
It's Catherine Newton from
Spy Kids.
Detective Pikachu.
also Spy Kids.
She was not in Spy Kids.
Yes, she was.
In Spy Kids
She was in
4?
Spy Kids 3D.
She was not in Spy
She
Kids.
played the purple girl who betrays them at the end
I
of the
don't
movie.
think that's
Purple girl?
I don't think that's
Look it up.
filmography. No way she was in Spy Kids or Spy Kids. She was not in Spy Kids.
Look up the Spy Kids 3.
She was not in Spy Kids 3.
Look up the movie.
I'm looking at her IMDb right
Get
now.
off her IMDb and look up the movie.
So you just saying she looks like the girl from
No,
Spy
no, no.
Kids
It is
3?
the same girl.
It is not the same. I'm telling you now. It's not the
Look
same
up
person.
who played the purple girl in.
Spy Kids
Spy
3
Kids.
purple girl.
I don't remember her
Watch
name.
her be like not even remotely close to looking.
I'm pretty sure it's the same person.
Sam, that is not. What?
Look up the.
That's the
What's the
purple girl.
name of the person who played her?
Sam, that's the.
Just pull it up.
I now have to find out. This character's a Wikipedia
Just look
article.
up actress after the.
Oh no,
word.
this is her only. This is like her only film role. was
Oh,
in Spy
okay,
Kids.
maybe not then. All
I
right,
told
moving
you
on.
it's a different person.
All right, continue.
Pause. So it's Catherine Newton from Detective Pikachu and also the movie Freaky.
I haven't seen that. I've only seen Detective
I
Pikachu.
know you have.
She was good in that though.
She's fine. She's good in those things.
The movie was not very well written, but
Um,
that's not her fault.
So they've for some reason are building a device to make a portal to the quantum realm
Why not?
because I guess they have a lot of spare time. So resume.
Because why not?
And they accidentally, Honey, I Shrunk the kids themselves.
Honey, I Shrunk ourselves.
Why don't they keep these things unplugged before they're done making them? That's my question. Unplug that Chromebook charger, and then once it's fit, because okay, pause. Whenever they do like stupid sci-fi gadgets,
Oh, it's not plugged in anymore. They did not plug it in.
then why was it plugged into stuff before?
I don't know.
And it's
No,
not plugged into a
it's right
VGA
there.
monitor.
It's
Why is the
right
VGA port there?
I don't know.
I'm gonna know, but
Why
I
do
hate
they have dice on the table? What are they using those
maybe
for?
they're playing Yahtzee.
All right, guys. All right.
Stop plugging
How
the
many?
HDMI.
How many quantum realms does it go to?
My favorite.
7.
My favorite, my least favorite thing in movies is when they're building like a sci-fi gadget and they have like it plugged into a complex
to catch up.
apparatus and they're like screwing parts into it and it's like all turned on already. It's just like you put it together and then you plug it in at the very end.
Yeah, that's not usually the
You
order
ever
of
turned on a
operations.
light bulb?
I just like how it was plugged in earlier and now it just isn't.
You don't flip the switch on and then screw the bulb in.
What is that?
The book.
Is that an abacus?
Maybe. Sam, it's vague science nonsense. The set is literally just like piles of cords.
Okay, anyway,
Because they
moving
needed a
on.
laboratory and this is what they got.
Moving on.
They're all
Alright,
getting
there
sucked
they
into the
go,
portal
they're getting
device.
Sucked into the multiverse.
Oh, the whole Lang,
Whoa, whoa,
all of them.
whoa.
the whole, what
Whoa,
are they
whoa,
called?
Whoa. Remember when the whole thing was if you don't have the
Films.
helmet on and you shrink, you go crazy? Now it's just not a factor anymore.
Well, if you go to the quantum realm, it doesn't matter.
No, it does. Remember because she couldn't take the helmet off
Sam,
until she got out.
they forgot about that part.
They did forget about that. I just wanted to bring.
Well, this is a giant retcon.
I just wanted
this
to
whole
bring up
movie.
that
This whole movie is a giant retcon. Pause. Okay, and they get transported to the mystical world of late 90s CGI.
They go to the quantum realm, and it looks similar to the one they went to
okay.
before, but not exactly the same.
I hate that I know 90% of this movie is going to be
In
six
CGI wasteland?
actors on a blue screen wandering around pretending to look at things that aren't
Yeah,
there.
Well, the floor will be real.
That looks like Elden Ring.
That looks terrible.
It looks fine.
Are you seriously looking at this picture and telling me you feel any sense of depth?
Not really, but it looks fine. It doesn't look bad.
Here, resume. It's obviously the volume, this one shot here. And then, yeah, because they're standing on a perfectly circular rock platform.
Yeah.
Obviously the volume. Apparently you don't need any sort of Ant-Man costume at all to survive in the quantum realm now. Actually, pause.
Actually, that looks pretty good. Actually,
Maybe
I
it's
like
this looks terrible. Maybe that's like a race against time thing, and you have like a certain amount of time
that.
before.
Yeah.
And that adds stakes. Resume. And then our like PS3 villains show up or
The
characters.
Spy Kids villains.
Spy Kids characters. They're all sitting around.
Just got the helmet on.
They're all split up, by the way. It appears into different areas This looks more like the Quantum Realm from the
Jellyfish.
last couple movies. This looks like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Snail.
This looks really stupid and goofy.
That's cool.
There's a big underground city, I guess.
So do you
They're
think that
collecting balls.
Okay, this.
Pause.
the rings?
Yes. What do they look
Some
like to
people
you?
are thinking. Some people been putting their noggins to the screen here.
Mhm.
Some people have been thinking these look kind of like Shang-Chi rings.
Which tracks? Because they've already altered that character so much, I'm not even remotely shocked.
Okay,
that they're
but
gonna have the
they
rings
altered it in a very good way. They made that character interesting and not stupid.
I'm not shocked that they're gonna alter the rings to connect them to Kang somehow.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm perfectly fine with
But I still want the big dumb dragon aliens.
it. No,
So I want them now, and they will
No.
put them into Shang-Chi too.
I'm good.
Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Big.
Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Kobolds from D&D, but now
What was
they're
the dragon's name? The big green one, like Fu Manchu.
No, it was I don't remember the one
Fing
that.
Fang Foom.
No, I thought that was his dad.
I thought it was Fing Fang Foom. Yeah, Fing Fang Foom's the big dragon alien from the Ten Rings world. I want him in the next one, even though they're retconning the.
Anyway,
resume.
Yeah, it looks kind of like the rings.
So Kang's got a big spaceship city
Okay,
underground.
another thing. A lot of people
and
are
a big
also
army.
thinking that the fact that there's like a whole Coruscant-looking world in here.
Mhm.
TVA.
No,
Well, where's Kang?
he's in the big cast.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And what was Kang running in Loki?
The TVA.
Uh-huh.
Oh, so you think it's in the quantum realm, like
Yeah.
the little headquarters?
Because it exists outside of time and space.
I mean,
Much like the
does
quantum
this
realm.
exist outside time and space?
Well, it's in the quantum realm,
Yeah,
is
but
it
people
not?
are still aging in there.
Yeah, but they were still aging when they were in the TVA also.
You know what doesn't make sense? So you know how
They just erased all the
whoa, whoa,
memories,
whoa,
so they
whoa.
forgot.
You know how Scott Lang was trapped in the quantum realm for 5 hours and 5 years passed in the real world?
Yeah.
How come Hope Van Dyne was in there for like 30 years and still aged 30 years, even though she would have only been in there for like a couple
Because
years?
it exists outside of time and space. Like, time works weird there. It's not...
So
you
you
don't always
still-
get the same result every time.
So you still age. So Scott Lang still aged 5 years, even though it was only 5 hours to him?
Well, he aged 5 hours.
Then how come Janet Van Dyne aged 30 years?
So you know how in our universe we have the laws of relativity?
Yes.
They don't have those there.
That still doesn't explain.
No, that does explain it.
How does that explain it?
Okay.
Oh, wait, so like you're saying that like time works different in different areas of the quantum realm?
Yes. It's not relative.
That's fine.
Here it's relative. There it's not.
All right, sure, that's a cop out.
It's a cop-out, but so is the quantum realm. Anyway,
Yeah, all of this was not here before.
but I think since Kang is here, and we know he's in charge of the TVA, because at the end of Loki there's a big statue of him in the middle of the room.
Or well, okay.
I think the whole TVA is in the quantum
it could
realm.
be different Kangs.
It could be,
Because
but
the He Who Remains says there's like a bunch of him. Right?
no, he says that if he doesn't stop it, the
Yeah.
worst
The
version of
Kang
him
is
will
the
take
worst
over.
one.
Yeah.
We assume this February
I think giving him a cape
we're
makes him look
doing
less stupid.
space. We're doing pause. It's just a sci-fi movie now. It's just turned into Guardians of the Galaxy essentially.
Okay, so he's big here.
Yes. Which how does that work?
But actually, he's actually still tiny.
yes.
That's just a little fun thing to think about.
Oh my gosh! Look at all this blue screen. Now these are some bad.
Woo,
This
that's
looks-
cool.
That's fine.
All right,
Look, Sam, they're running for
did
real.
you see how he was? Okay, well, that's actually a good thing.
Oh wait, go back one.
Did you see how he
There's
was?
There's an important thing.
Did you see how he like ribboned himself?
He gets ribboned.
Yeah, hang on. What was it?
He's gonna get ribboned real bad.
Ribbon, yeah. Do you think this is okay? Number one, there's 2 Scots right here,
Uh-huh.
so that's weird. Do you think they're gonna do multiverse? Do you think this is another universe?
No, I think Kang's probably gonna have like a hologram room, and he's
Where he
gonna
makes
be
other
like,
Scots
"I'll
and
kill
use
you
them."
and your whole family if you don't do what I want." And big CGI dream sequence. He's gonna do a Mysterio.
Sure, but like, you think that they might be traveling to multiverses through the quantum realm?
I mean, they can travel through time through the quantum, so yeah, probably they could. Do
Yeah.
this. Well, no, because they
'Cause
don't
we know
travel
Doctor-
through time. They travel through universes to do time travel in the MCU.
Yeah, I know. So they could be traveling.
So
to
yeah,
the,
you can travel through universes.
Yeah, that's how that happened.
How come Kang hasn't left then?
Because he's
Oh,
wants
pause.
to take over this one.
Cassie Lang has a Ant-Man suit because she's gonna be statured. That's the
Yeah, we know that.
And this is a bad green screen effect.
Okay, there's Kang.
He's blue.
He certainly
His
is.
mask is gonna make him blue, but when his mask shield thing isn't on, he's not.
He's
gonna be
normal.
blue.
Yeah.
but he's wearing the purple and green.
He does look not as stupid as I thought he would.
Oh, and also we missed the Bill Murray shot from earlier.
Yeah, this Bill Murray's in it.
He's gonna be in it for
You know,
once,
you
too.
know,
Pause
the-
again. Oh, dang!
come
you just
on.
missed it. Now we have to watch.
There's a little
Kang.
bit of lag, like on the pausing.
Yeah, our system is not good. Oh wait, actually, there was 3 Ant-Mans in that shot.
Okay, there's King
There's
again.
Kang. Oh, pause.
There we go.
So we got all 3 of them. We got
Thatcher,
Wasp.
Wasp,
Purple.
Ant-Man. They both got circles.
I think all 3 of them.
That's what I said. They got
What
circles.
do the
We already knew
circles
he had a
do?
circle. I'm saying they
Yeah.
also got circles.
So
There's
one,
Coruscant.
how did Cassie Lang make a costume in the quantum realm?
They probably just used like science labs from here to make it.
They used one of those magic Tony Stark MacGuffin machines.
I bet. So they all get separated, right?
Yeah, well,
They
we
all-
see that she gets separated from them.
They all get separated. I mean, they're together. But you get the idea.
Yeah.
They get found by Kang's men or Kang's dudes. They all get brought to Kang City.
Uh-huh.
Kang's like, I can help you get home. Here's my lab. They go, boop, 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 make a lab suit, do. We
Yep.
got our suits. And then he goes, alrighty, now that you got your suits, I need a favor from you. I need you to go kill a bunch of dudes or do an evil thing. He needs them to do an evil thing. They go, well, we don't want to do your evil thing. And he's like, I'm gonna kill you now. And then they gotta fight him.
Okay, leave it paused here. My theory is that because at the end of the trailer, he tells them, I'm gonna kill your family if you don't do this or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I think what's gonna happen is Traps his family, Scott's family. He's gonna be like, hey, if to save your family, you gotta kill this guy or destroy whatever this thing is. Because I think Kang's trapped in the quantum realm. Because otherwise, why is he there? Because he's a conqueror, right? His goal is obviously to conquer a bunch of places.
Yeah, I think he will get out or
Scott, I
almost-
think he's
yeah.
gonna have Scott do something to let him out. I think that's
Yeah.
gonna be the plot of the movie.
Also, notably, Hank Pym, not here.
Not in this one shot.
Well, I assume if they're all grouping up to fight a dude,
What's
he'd
he
be
gonna
there.
do? He's 72 years old.
So
He would
neither of the parents are there.
Yeah, probably because they're like over
So
here
either-
hiding and having
either
back problems.
either they're doing a plan and they got a different task,
They're gonna kill.
or they're
Yeah,
gonna die.
Obviously, they're gonna kill Hank Pym.
You think they're gonna kill Hank Pym?
Yes, Michael Douglas wants to retire.
That's true.
He wants to get his.
Do you think they're
residual
gonna
check,
kill
and then
his
he
wife
wants-
also?
No. There needs to be a character who tells them who needs to do the exposition for the.
Scott can do that now. He's been in.
No, but because Janet's been there before, right? There has to be a character. Who
Well, yeah, but
walks
that's only
around.
towards the beginning of the movie. We don't need at this point. They've been there for a while.
Yeah, but also we barely know Janet.
That's fine.
So if she kill her, who cares?
Exactly.
Like, because Hank was in the first Ant-Man for like the whole thing.
Yeah.
Janet was at like the very end of the second Ant-Man.
That's okay. We don't need her. Kill her. Kill them both.
Anyway, Wasp has a more comic accurate suit now.
It's got the stripes.
The Thatcher's is purple because Thatcher's
It's purple. Yeah.
and then Scott's is unchanged. Also, this is going to be their last movie as Ant-Man and the Wasp because they're both too old to keep doing it.
You think they're gonna die here?
I don't think they're going to die, but I think they're going to. Ant-Man is too much of like a happy-go-lucky series for them to kill like the main characters off at the end of the movie. Like all of them. That's way too
Do you
dark.
think that Ant-Man would die in Secret Wars or in Kang
Maybe.
Kang Dynasty?
Maybe.
I think he might do the Iron Man
think
move.
I think it's too much of like a happy character to kill him off completely.
No, but I think that makes it more sad.
I guess.
Because when you kill the sad character, you're
Mhm.
sad, but you're not that sad. Like if when Black Widow died, that was sad, but like she was kind of a sad character.
Mhm.
So like it wasn't as sad as when like Peter Parker died or when Tony Stark died, because those were like happier characters.
I guess so.
So
I
if,
don't think they'll kill him just because he's Paul Rudd.
well, no, but he's got to leave the MCU eventually. I'm
Well,
saying
he can just retire. Well, because they didn't kill off Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye, but Hawkeye, he just said he's just not going to be in the next Avengers movies.
yeah, but also
And they replaced him with a younger version, so they can just retire and go.
but
live on a farm.
also nobody cares about Hawkeye. People care.
I know.
about
I'm
Ant-Man.
saying just because they're getting replaced with a younger version doesn't necessarily you have to kill off the other one.
But
Like,
I'm-
you just have them go leave.
I'm saying if they were gonna kill a main character off in one, because someone's got to die.
They're
That's
gonna
how this
kill off.
goes.
No, they're gonna.
Someone's got to die.
They're gonna.
I think it might be Ant-Man.
they're gonna Infinity War themselves again. They're gonna
Yeah,
kill
someone's
off
gotta
half
die.
the cast at the end of Kang Dynasty.
No, I don't think they're literally gonna kill off half the
It
cast.
won't be literally half because they did that last time.
Yeah, that's dumb.
They're gonna kill off a bunch of people so that there's a limited cast for Secret Wars, so it's easier to write. And then at the end, they all get resurrected to have another big battle sequence.
Yeah.
They're gonna do the same thing again. That's what happens in the Secret Wars comic too. Is
Yeah.
most of the characters get killed off, the popular ones remain, and then everyone else gets brought back at the end.
They
They're gonna
multiverse
do
them.
the same thing.
Okay, anyway, moving on. Next part.
I
There's not much
I
left.
think the next part is just
It's just Kang slowly.
he's got a cape.
Got a cape. His cape looks cool.
He's
There it
not
is.
blue here.
He's kinda
He's still
starred
got
up.
the lines on his face though, and he's still wearing the purple suit.
This collar looks a little bit dumb.
It's Kang looks stupid.
He looks a
Kang.
little bit like a
He's
Power
Kang the Conqueror.
He
He
looks-
looks dumb no matter
He-
what.
Okay, but when he has the helmet on, like it like matches at least. When he doesn't have the helmet on, it looks a little bit Power Rangers-y. Looks a little bit like a Power Rangers.
That's fine. It's a Ant-Man.
All right. Anyway, next thing.
there
What's the
anything
next
else
thing?
in this
No,
trailer?
He's looking.
He goes, "Are you an Avenger? Have I killed you before?"
Man
And then
in
they
the
show that
Wasp.
they changed the logo again. Pause. What is up with Marvel and progressively trying to make all of their logos more and more boring?
Okay, but the original one was really
No,
dumb.
not the stupid circle one. There was one before that when they announced it where it was like Ant-Man and the Wasp and then Quantum Mania, but
It was like
in
stretchy.
a fun
Yeah.
font. And then they changed it to this where it's just like a PowerPoint slide. And they did the same thing with Armor Wars. They had it look like the Iron Man font.
Yeah.
And then they changed it so it's just like it looks pretty much exactly like this.
They did it for the same reason the McDonald's is gray and black and white now.
Because it's cool.
No, it's because it removing detail appeals more to the greatest common denominator. If you add detail, you're inherently alienating someone who doesn't like the detail.
stylized.
If you remove detail, as much detail as possible, it appeals to the most amount of people. There's a reason why the Apple logo is just basically a white block. There's a reason why the Windows logo is just a square.
Well, okay. That's fine and all. But why does the Ant-Man part still look like the stylized Ant-Man font?
Because they've already used that for their other movies. This
Brand
part is new.
recognition.
Yeah. This is a new word. Those words have been there a
That's
minute.
not a real word.
Yes, but I'm saying it's new to this
He's
thing.
eating that baseball.
She likes that baseball to eat.
Yeah,
Anyway, yeah.
Is there
I
nothing
think
else?
that's it. I think that's the end of this trailer. I
Is that
think.
there's a release date, right?
Yeah.
February 17th.
Bah. There you go.
Woo.
Woo!
All right, Sam, play the other Marvel trailer that got leaked the day after, and so they had to release it. The Guardians Holiday Special, aka DC Studio CEO's Marvel Special. This is only minutes. So this, pause.
Hang on,
As
it's
soon as
got to
it
connect
loads.
first.
So the Guardians Holiday Special trailer leaked on Twitter, like the day after the Ant-Man trailer came out, because it wasn't supposed to come out yet.
Mhm.
But because it leaked in such high quality, they had to just release it officially, which keeps happening with Marvel trailers. They need to get tighter security.
Oh,
They
there it
need
is.
they need to have one guy edit their trailers, and then they just need to like save it to one individual drive and then like put it in a vault.
No, I like that it keeps getting leaked because if it wasn't leaked, when would this have been released?
I think they would have released it after
At
Halloween.
Christmas.
They basically released it like
When did
the
this
day.
come out?
I think it came out like
Late
Halloween.
November, right?
Yeah, I think it came out
Well, they
like
didn't
on
even
Halloween.
announce the Werewolf by Night special until
Like the
a
day
month
before.
it came out. So,
That's what I'm saying. If this hadn't leaked, it would not have come out.
Yeah, I guess, but do we really need it to come out? We just need to know
Why
when-
not? How it costs you nothing. You already
No,
edited
you
the
have
whole
to pay
trailer.
The editor.
You already did that. They already did all that. It costs you nothing to press upload.
Oh, you
That's
mean-
a free action.
No, they would have released it. They just would have released it later, so that and the Ant-Man trailer didn't come out so close together.
So
They can't cannibalize each other. You gotta have
it's YouTube.
no. It's because people will talk about the Ant-Man trailer, and then when that dies down,
They can talk about two
you
trailers.
talk about the Guardians trailer.
It's possible.
That's not how Marvel thinks.
Well, Marvel
very-
are kind of dumb.
They
sometimes.
have a team of marketing experts who decide these things.
Well, that's kind of why people don't like them.
But
Anyway,
anyway,
moving
this
on.
is the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, the second Marvel Studios special presentation. As
I guess that's
established
just going to
by
be what they
Werewolf by
call
Night.
their things.
This
their-
with all the
their
TV
holiday
I'll
specials.
pause.
Okay, this. What happened? This did not look this stupid
Ew.
before. Why is it like sucking into his brain?
'Cause I guess it's like implanted into his head.
It wasn't before though.
No, it was
He
kinda
just put it
stupid.
on.
But whatever, who cares?
No, I don't. That's worse. Why'd they make it gross?
They should've just
Not
made
that
it so he
gross.
has, like,
It just
a
looks weird.
magnetic ball.
Oh, pause it again. So we start
Why-
off. Peter
Not pause
Quill.
every character.
Peter Quill is grumpy. The other Guardians are like, he's so grumpy because Gamora be dead.
Yeah.
And it's about to be Christmas on Earth, so let's do a Christmas.
Let's take him to Christmas
Let's
and
get him
he'll
a
be
Christmas
happy.
present. So
So they go to Earth,
He's drinking.
and they're looking for a present for him.
Mantis and Drax go to Earth, where they have wacky shenanigans down in California, the least Christmassy place on the
Yeah,
planet.
because they want it. So Peter Quill's feeling down because Gamora's dead.
Mhm.
Drax and Mantis are like, we should get him a present because he feels sad and it's Christmas. And then that's the plot.
That's the premise.
Yeah.
It's only gonna be like.
It's only 40 minutes. You get the. It's not
It's not gonna.
be super complicated.
Yeah, they're gonna.
Yeah, so
walk
we got
around
these
Holly-
funny shots of what I assume to be them just like walking around in the real world.
fish out of water jokes.
Yeah. No,
What, Max?
they always go to New York. They can go to a different
They
place
can go to
for once.
California. That's where they film.
I think this
And
is.
then
I think
This is the end Christmas
like
party.
kind of adult Groot is funny.
Yeah. So this part of the trailer has them all in Christmas sweaters. They're having like a holiday party, right?
Yeah.
And then we have Groot, who
I think that's Nebula back there.
I think is supposed to be like Groot in puberty, where he's like,
Well, no, that was the last one.
well, he's like Groot size, like original Groot size,
Yeah.
kind of, but his head is still smaller.
He's like early
And
20s
he's
Groot.
still like
He's like late
young
teens,
and
early
stupid.
20s
His
Groot.
voice is still high pitched.
Yeah.
They're still altering Vin Diesel in post. Because it's still Vin Diesel, by
Yeah.
the way, if you forgot. Oh, and then Drax and Mantis, they're present to Peter Quill.
Yeah.
They're going to take Kevin Bacon to him.
This I don't think they should have revealed.
What, that it's Kevin Bacon?
Yeah, I think that would have been a funny thing to see happen on screen. I don't like that they showed us that it was Kevin Bacon.
Well, if they never released the trailer, you would have known it's
But-
Kevin Bacon.
They edited the trailer that way. They should not have put that in the trailer.
Well, then you wouldn't know what the special is about. So
No, we would know. We know that they're getting him a present for Christmas and then it's Christmassy vibes. That's all we needed to know. The fact that they're kidnapping a famous actor, that would have been funnier to see it like in the thing. Like if we didn't know Kevin Bacon was in it, that would have been so funny to see him just pop up and then they kidnap him.
Yeah, I guess so.
That would have been way funnier.
They
But now
go to-
the joke's ruined.
They go to Kevin Bacon's house and they break stuff and chase Kevin Bacon around. Because haha, funny.
Because they know that Peter Quill likes Kevin Bacon, and so they kidnap him.
He
and
won't
it's
stop
funny.
talking about Footloose. And then they have like the little credits where it's like who's in the special pause. Too late.
Yeah, I know. There's lag on the pause.
So this special, the most important thing here is they're gonna introduce Cosmo the space dog.
Who was in Guardians 1.
It was in Guardians 1, but didn't talk
And he was stuck in a
and
box.
looked different. It was a real dog in that. It's gonna be a CGI dog now.
Tina goes
Oh,
roar.
she wants the baseball
She wants the McDonald's.
and the baseball. But
Max's baseball.
so Cosmo the space dog is gonna be in Guardians
give her the
3, and also is gonna be voiced by
She
Maria
already ate it all up.
from Borat
You can't
2.
use it now.
Yeah, that baseball.
That's a Cena
You're just
toy
gonna have
now.
to buy another baseball.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be voiced by Maria Bakalova. She's gonna stick around for Guardians 3 because they want to add like a female character to the Groot rocket scenes.
They need a Gamora replacement.
Well, not really. They need a. Uh-oh.
Cena's in trouble.
Cena's in trouble. Bum 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 bum.
And people.
What? There has. Anyway, so yeah, they're adding Cosmo the space dog.
Oh, rip.
What is not working?
Oh, I think the stream turned off.
Like a long time ago.
Yes, yeah, it says it's not on. Yeah, it's offline. Rip.
Rip.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, they're adding Cosmo the space dog to the rocket and Groot stuff. And then we also have a picture of Groot who has the tiny little head on the big body. And then they're chasing Kevin Bacon. And it's the Guardians of the Galaxy All Official. Comes out on November. Let me find the date. I gotta find the date. November 25th. It's technically the last thing in Phase 4 is this. And
Yes.
not Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
But it is Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I'm gonna fix the stream.
Are you seriously gonna put this all back up?
Look, it's
Okay.
Ant-Man from Fortnite.
It is cool to see the Guardians again. It's been a while since we've seen them as main characters or anything. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 came out over 5 years ago. Obviously, they were in Infinity War, but they weren't like the stars of that movie. But it looks fun and cool, and I'm excited for Guardians 3 because that's the last one I really invested in, and then they can do whatever they want and then other stuff. I don't care about it. All right, moving on. Sam, there was a Star Wars animated series that came out
Yes,
a
Star
couple
Wars.
of weeks ago.
Tales.
Star Wars
the
Tales
Jedi.
of the Jedi. It was 6 shorts. They're all about 15 minutes long. 3 of them, it's in the Clone Wars animation style. Dave Filoni wrote all 6. 3 of them are about Dooku. 3 of them are about Ahsoka. How did you feel about Tales of the Jedi?
I thought Tales of the Jedi was very good. I liked it a lot.
I liked it as well. I thought it was very well done. It was a good length. Nothing really overstayed its welcome. I thought 5 of the 6 were really clever, and I thought the 6th one,
The first,
one of them was
I thought
so
the first
useless.
one was not super good.
It was
The
kind
first one just nothing really happened.
The first one was very predictable. I knew
It was
what
just
they were doing
Ahsoka as a
from the very
baby.
start.
Yeah, and then it's revealed that she has Force powers. Which that's fine.
We all know.
It was like wholesome, but it wasn't like super important.
But my problem with it was like you predicted what was going to happen, where the bear was going to take her and she was going to use the Force to make the bear nice, and then.
Yeah, which is an ability, by the way, that we've only seen Anakin and Ahsoka use, by the way.
But it was like I knew where they were going with that.
And Obi-Wan, I think.
And then
was too.
the second, and so it's the first baby Ahsoka one, and then they do all 3 Dooku ones, and then it's the other 2 Ahsokas. The 3 Dooku ones are the obviously superior shorts
Oh,
here.
so much better.
On another level than the Ahsoka ones. I thought they were far more interesting.
It was so cool. See, because Count Dooku is a crappy villain. He's really good in Clone Wars, but even in Clone Wars, we don't really know why he's
we don't
bad.
really know anything about him.
We've never really known why he's bad, and now those special
even just these like couple minutes, like,
everything makes more sense.
really,
he's such a better character now.
my question here is the Dooku one was essentially just like a Clone Wars arc, just condensed into like the Wikipedia summary of each episode. I thought all 3 of the Dooku ones worked really, really well. I thought having his slow, like, dissatisfaction and, like, his slow descent out of the Jedi Order was really, really interesting how they did that.
Yeah, it was really cool to see.
I like how he slowly understands, like, the corruption of how the whole system works.
Now, they did retcon some stuff. They didn't all the way retcon it. They just, like, it's a little bit confusing.
What did they retcon?
So, he left the Jedi Order before Episode 1. But we see him walking around the Jedi archives.
In this, he leaves it during episode.
No.
No, he leaves it at the end of episode.
So he still left before Episode 1. He was just still allowed access to the Jedi Temple, and he was allowed to keep his lightsaber, per Yoda's request.
Wait, hang on, what?
Yeah. So he left before Episode 1.
No, in this, he leaves at the end of episode 1.
No. He was already gone.
But they don't say that.
Yeah.
You're just saying that based off the lore from the Legends stuff.
No, they said this afterward.
When did they say this?
I don't remember what it was like. They clarified in like an article on the Star Wars website or something. But he still left the Jedi Order before Episode 1, and then he was still around.
He left the Jedi Order, but he was just a Jedi still. He's walking around the temple with a lightsaber and meeting with the Jedi.
The first episode is
going on missions.
The first episode is the only one where he goes on a mission.
No, he goes on a mission in the second one with Mace Windu also.
Yeah, but that also takes place before.
Those are both before episode 1.
Those 2 missions take place before episode 1. After that,
3 takes place during episode 1, like during.
Yeah, it takes place like at the end of episode 1.
Yeah,
where he's already left the Jedi Order. They just invited him to Qui-Gon's funeral. That's the only time
he's walking around at the
he
Jedi.
walks around. He talks to Qui-Gon for a minute.
He talks to Qui-Gon, who says that he fought Maul on Tatooine.
Yeah, he goes into the Jedi archives and he deletes Kamino from the archives, which he did after he left the Order.
How do we know that?
Because that's just when it lines up. We just know he's not in the Jedi Order at that point.
Leave the Jedi Order. That doesn't make any sense.
Why not?
Why was he hanging around the Jedi Temple if he wasn't a Jedi? And why did he still have a lightsaber?
Because they just like let him stick around. They just liked him.
After 70 years in the Jedi Order, he left for the dark side. He need a date.
We need a BBY.
In Legends, I don't want Legends. I want canon. I'm gonna look up Tales of the Jedi. I'm just gonna look up the episode summaries and see if that says when he does it. Because it doesn't make it. Why would he leave before episode 1 and then the third episode of the Dooku arc just have him be with the Jedi the whole time?
In the book about Count Dooku, He leaves the order, but Yoda tells him to keep his lightsaber. Like, he tries to turn it in, and Yoda's like, no, keep it. That was like a whole thing.
So he's still a member of the Jedi Council in the second episode of his arc. And then in the third one...
No, he was never a member of the council. Remember, they passed him up.
Right.
They passed him up for a
promotion.
They gave it to Windu instead.
They gave it to Windu because the Windu's less mean. It says that he was Dooku was like giving him Sidious Jedi secrets though. So how is he doing that if he wasn't a Jedi?
Because he was still allowed access to the Jedi Temple.
Why are the Jedi so dumb?
It's not even the Jedi, it's really just Yoda.
Does he make all the rules and they just don't listen to him?
Pretty much yes.
Yeah, I mean, he
The
left
reason
the
why-
Jedi Order, but he should just still get to do all the Jedi stuff.
Well, it's because Dooku was...
They didn't let
Yoda's
Ahsoka keep her lightsaber.
Well, they thought she committed treason.
But then they welcome her, but since she left by her own will.
Yeah, but
So if Dooku leaves on his own will,
she had already turned her lightsabers in at that point.
Give them back, and then she gets to.
She didn't want them back.
Why?
She was rejecting the Jedi Order. That was the whole point.
So Dooku.
Yeah, but Yoda said, no, keep it. We're not going to take it. You got to keep it. They took Ahsoka's lightsabers. They didn't want Dooku's lightsaber.
Did Dooku leave the Jedi Order for episode?
Yeah, he did.
He's left as soon as episode 1 ends.
So right after that.
So not before.
Okay, so he
is a Jedi in the episode.
There is a scene before he leaves to go talk with Palpatine where he leaves the Jedi Order. Even though none of them were there.
End of the episode.
Even though none of them were there.
What?
They were on Naboo. The Jedi Council was on Naboo.
No, they're on Coruscant.
No, they were on Naboo for his funeral, for Qui-Gon's funeral.
Why did they do his funeral? He's not from Naboo.
I was wondering that during the
funeral in episode 1 happens at the Jedi Temple.
No, it doesn't. Yaddle goes, they're on Naboo for Qui-Gon's funeral.
But Dooku was at Qui-Gon's funeral.
No, he wasn't.
Why didn't he go to Qui-Gon's funeral? That was
He
mean.
said he couldn't. He said he couldn't do it.
Because he had to go talk to Sidious.
Yeah, and because it was like...
Wait, is it Sidious at Qui-Gon at his funeral in episode 1? Is it Palpatine there? Because isn't there a part in episode 1 where Yoda's talking to Mace Windu and he's like, there's a Sith out there maybe, and then there's just a shot of Palpatine sitting there?
I think so. You know, maybe it happened. Maybe that was before the funeral.
That have to have been before.
Yeah, because they probably left for the funeral after. So okay, so they were still on course.
That's why Yaddle wasn't there.
Yeah, Yaddle wasn't there because she got murdered.
Yaddle also left the Jedi Order to like.
No, she didn't leave the Jedi Order. That's
no, she leaves she steps down from the council. She's
yeah, but she said that she stepped down from the council and then went to chase after Dooku. The same
and then
day.
she goes.
And then she died. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the Dooku episodes were the best ones.
Easily, yeah.
I thought the scenarios they put him in that made him question like the whole system that he was a part of were like actually interesting scenarios. I like that they had Qui-Gon. They had Liam Neeson's son voicing Qui-Gon Jinn, even though he looked weird. I thought the Dooku design and the Qui-Gon design in the first episode were like, really
cool.
weird.
I thought they were cool. I liked them a lot.
Like it's obvious that the Dooku design they had with like the beard in mind. So when he's really young and he has no beard, it's just weird because he has like just a tiny little face.
Yeah, he has
giant,
no chin.
And then he has just like this giant room for where a beard is supposed
to
be.
Yeah, he has like a very small chin.
But then when he grows the beard out, it looks fine. And then something was off about Qui-Gon. His face was like a weird color.
Yeah, he was just a little bit. He was a little pale.
He was like, yeah, he looked weird. But they fix it when it's older Qui-Gon in the other episode. I thought the stuff with Yaddle was fun. I liked that Yaddle talks normal and Yoda talks like a weirdo.
Yeah, it just canonizes the fact that Yoda's just like a nutcase.
Apparently, Frank Oz had explained in like an interview in like 1986 that Yoda talks that way because that's how like everyone used to talk in Galactic
Yeah,
Basic.
like 800 years ago.
Because he's been around so long, he still talks that way even though no one else does.
Yeah, he's the last person.
Because Yaddle is much younger than Yoda was.
Yeah.
And Yaddle is also voiced by Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yaddle, I think, was
How did
200.
Yaddle die?
Did you watch Tales of the Jedi?
No.
Count
He
Dooku
dies
cuts
in
her
the
head
show.
off.
What?
Does she what?
Dooku cuts
I
her
said
head off.
Count Dooku cut her head
I
off.
didn't know.
Yaddle
Yes,
was a
Yaddle has
girl.
always been a girl. Has always been what Yaddle is.
But yeah, I thought episode 4 of Tales of the Jedi I thought was the best one. I think it goes from Sith Lord, and then choices, and then justice,
Yeah.
and then for the Ahsoka ones, it goes resolve, life and death, and
The
practice.
second Ahsoka episode is the best one.
The one with the clone troopers?
Yes.
That was the worst one.
No, that's the best one.
That one was boring and useless.
No, that one showed how Anakin saved her from Order 66.
We didn't need to know that.
But I think it's cool that we have it. We don't need any
It's
of
just
Star
a
Wars.
long training
That is a
sequence.
dumb thing to
No,
say.
okay.
We don't need it. We don't need any of it.
But it didn't add anything.
Yes, it did.
It was just a long training montage.
Okay, we've never really seen Anakin training Ahsoka. We in all of Clone Wars, there's no scenes of him training
because
her.
that's boring.
Well, it's boring if you just take it and look at the most boring parts. But on this, we were only focusing on like the interesting. I thought it was cool to see.
I thought it was
the way that he was training her, and like he was kind of like store. Like it would have been really sucky
I
to
thought
train
it was
with
a
him like
neat idea that, like, the way she learned to fight against those specific clone troopers then applied later in Order 66. I thought that was
that's
neat.
literally.
I
saved
thought
her
it was
life.
too like that should have been like a 2-minute short. Like I thought it was 10, like dragging it out to 10 minutes was too much because it starts off like interesting and it ends interesting, but the middle part where it's just like 7 minutes of her getting tased.
That was only like 3
got
minutes. There was
really
other
repetitive.
stuff in that episode.
It's like the whole episode is just her fighting clones.
No, that's like the middle like 2 minutes.
I wasn't paying that close attention.
Well, that's not the episode's fault.
that was the one I was like, I just like
that I
watched.
thought that episode was really good.
I was on my phone during that.
And like the they did the same thing that they did in that like the Rebels fight with Maul, where like the moves that she does in the when she's training against those
she
clones
later does
is
in
the
in
same
that
exact
episode.
moves that she does defending against them during Order 66. It's just like that. I just thought that was I really appreciated that.
I like the part where Obi-Wan Kenobi has the wrong haircut.
Anakin and Obi-Wan's hair
They both have the wrong hair.
actually screws with
No,
genuine
was
canon.
Anakin's hair? I thought
was
he had
shorter.
the mop top from Clone Wars. I thought
No,
he
no,
just-
no.
Clone
It's a
Wars.
little bit shorter.
I'm gonna look at the
So
episode.
that means in canon,
I mean, it could have been a little bit shorter.
within the course of about a month.
Okay, but it makes more sense that it would make more sense for Anakin's to be a little bit shorter.
Yeah, he
and then
could-
have grown back out in
yeah.
Clone Wars.
And
Obi-Wan's make no
Obi-Wan,
sense.
okay, no, that just means in canon, Obi-Wan's hair grows
Like
super
at an
fast.
accelerated rate.
Yeah,
'Cause-
because he grows out a mullet and then cuts it off within the course of like like a couple of weeks.
We all know that in episode 2 he has the iconic Obi-Wan mullet, right?
Yeah, that's clearly why it looked like that is because they made it look more
Yeah.
like episode 2, but Anakin gets Ahsoka
Yeah, the
during the
Clone
Battle
Wars
of
movie.
Christophsis
Which is during Clone Wars.
during Clone Wars.
And at that point he has the shorter hair.
Yeah, and so does Obi-Wan.
And so does Obi-Wan.
And so that means after Anakin, after the
Yeah.
Battle of Christophsis, let's assume there was one other arc after that. I don't know which
I
one.
think there was.
There's another
Yeah.
arc after that, and during that, Obi-Wan just grew his hair out to a mullet.
Okay, Anakin's looks about the same as it does in Clone Wars.
It's just a little bit
It's
short.
a little bit shorter. Obi-Wan's is noticeably the episode
Obi-Wan
2 haircut.
Obi-Wan is either wearing a wig, which I think would also be canonically hilarious.
Well, you know what? In episode 4, Alec Guinness is very clearly has like very little hair and is almost bald.
You think that Obi-Wan is balding?
Obi-Wan's been wearing a wig this entire time.
Well, no, because in the other Clone Wars, his like hair is it gets like messy and stuff.
In which one?
Yeah, during the Battle of Mandalore, after Maul kills.
I think he's been wearing a wig.
when Maul
this entire
no,
time.
because when Maul kills the Duchess,
15.
his hair's like messed up.
Well, a wig can get messed up.
Yeah, but it would have fallen off if he's like slumped over and
I
his
know
hair's
he
like
uses
falling
the
down.
force to keep it on his head really tight.
That's a really dumb theory.
Well, then explain to me why his hair is so long. Here,
I think it's
Sam.
funnier if his hair just canonically grows at like an insanely
I
fast
think
speed.
the animators forgot that.
No, they clearly
there's
just
something
forgot.
in between episode 2
Yeah,
and
they
the start of
just
Clone Wars.
forgot that.
Unless Disney's gonna come out tomorrow and tell everyone that the Clone Wars movie isn't canon anymore.
But the director is Dave Filoni, so
no, he didn't direct it. He was just the writer.
yeah. But it's just that means Dave Filoni forgot.
He forgot.
Which,
Dave, you're slipping.
for those of you who don't know, Dave Filoni is the guy in charge of Star
you're
Wars.
slipping on your hair.
He
cannon.
also made almost all of Clone Wars, so which means he forgot his own show, which I think is just kind of funny.
I liked the last Ahsoka episode the best. I liked her fighting the Inquisitor.
I liked that. I liked the Inquisitor fight. I thought that was cool, but I thought the rest of that episode
You
was
didn't
just
like
kind
the
of
farm
boring.
stuff.
I liked all the farm stuff was super boring. I liked the funeral. That was really cool.
That was cool.
I liked the fight with the Inquisitor. That was really cool.
I liked the farm. I like
the farm stuff. I do not care about at all.
I liked
those characters were really annoying.
The characters weren't great, but I liked the whole propaganda thing. Where I like seeing, seeing the bigger events in like the Star Wars canon from the events of like random people.
I like seeing
like how the propaganda that the
like
Empire
works
put
on
out
them.
has affected them.
Yeah,
like I like the idea where that character is like wholeheartedly convinced
that the Empire is good,
that the Empire is good, and that the Jedi betrayed everyone, and that like if you see a Jedi,
the propaganda worked. Yeah,
like I like seeing that stuff. I wasn't a huge fan of how they like did it. That character was just kind of like annoyed for being. Just to be annoying.
Yeah, it was a little dumb, but
it
was still pretty good.
His sister just was a nothing character. But that was fine. But I like seeing that kind of stuff where it's like, because we're constantly looking at like these giant 500 spaceship battles and like these climactic lightsaber fights. I like to see like how the guy who lived on Coruscant, well, Order 66 was happening. Just like what
did he think about this?
What did he think it was this whole time? I like seeing that kind of stuff. That's why I liked that episode more than because I didn't really like the first episode.
And a lot of people didn't like the fight with the Inquisitor. I thought that was really cool.
People don't like it when a Star Wars fight between two Force users isn't just them hitting each other with lightsabers
for like
40 minutes.
Yeah.
That they hate it when it's not just a big long choreographed lightsaber fight.
And those are cool, but I think this fight made a lot of sense.
It's more interesting when Ahsoka has to like use the Force and use her brain
to
solve a problem.
Let's also think about who's fighting who here.
Yeah.
We have an Inquisitor who could not have been training for more than a year.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming he was a Jedi Padawan before this, which he might have been.
Okay, one question. How many Inquisitors are there?
9.
Really? I feel like we've seen like 15.
There's 9 and they replace them as they die.
They just keep... It's like, where do they get them, though?
Most of them were Padawans.
But like, once you get the 9, you just got like some in the reserves, so that when one dies, you just move one up.
No, they just
find another.
They just
Padawan.
find a Force-sensitive person and torture until they do what they say. It's not complicated.
Way too many Jedi survived Order 66. But
I mean, they were fighting like regular dudes. They're Jedi.
But they didn't see it coming.
But some of them did.
How did all those Padawans survive, but none of the actual like Jedi?
Because there weren't any clones in the temple.
Yeah, there were.
Only after Anakin marched them in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all the masters fought and then all the little kids hid?
Yes.
Anakin showed up later?
The masters saved the Padawans. That was the whole concept.
Oh, remember the TV show Obi-Wan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where we see that happen.
Well, except for he killed all those Padawans.
Except for the one who hid
Except
in
for the
bodies.
one who became an Inquisitor.
Exactly. Anyway, that Inquisitor could not have been training for more than maybe a year.
No, I mean, he was just a scary-looking villain for her.
Yeah, he was just scared. Now, I would like to see...
Which, that's another thing from that Ahsoka book that they've now redone. And
they changed what that guy was.
I mean, it's still like the same setup, but it's changed.
I would like to see some kind of backstory of that guy, just because he looks cool. Star Wars is all about the coolest guy gets the coolest backstory. Like, without Boba Fett...
I mean, it's not even necessarily that they get the coolest backstory, it's that they get a
They just get a lot of backstory.
Like, an unnecessary amount of
Boba Fett was, like, the coolest looking guy, and so the whole Clone Wars was modeled after how cool Boba Fett was.
It was an excuse for them to make a bunch of Boba Fett.
Exactly. So, I would like to see, and I know we will eventually see a little bit of background on that guy.
If there's a character on screen, eventually they're getting a spin-off.
But my point is,
Star Wars works.
That guy could not have been training for more than maybe a few months, a year, maybe. He's fighting Ahsoka, who single-handedly defeated a Sith Lord, Darth Maul, by herself without lightsabers.
Well,
at the end of the fight, she subdued him without lightsabers. Now, again, to be fair, Darth Maul was not trying to kill her.
All those clone
Darth Maul was
troopers.
trying to turn her, which that's what the Sith are always doing. That's kind of one of their problems.
They were still doing a big fight, though.
But she was able to subdue him without lightsabers.
Yeah.
Darth Maul. It would have been really stupid if she didn't really quickly beat this Inquisitor. Yeah. So I actually like that quite a bit.
I thought this whole series was strong, though. I think they should do more of these. I want to see a season 2 of this, but I want it to have nothing to do with what we got in this season. Yeah, I don't want it to be connected at all.
I want it to be an anthology.
I want it to be more just different guys. Because
I want to see a Mace Windu thing.
I like Ahsoka, but we're getting a little too much Ahsoka. Dial down on the Ahsoka.
Yeah, okay. I like Ahsoka as much
show.
as the next guy. One of my favorite characters. Calm down.
She's
Just
already
a little.
getting a live action show. Let's dial down the Ahsoka focus.
Turn it down to like
Because
9.
that's why I like the Dooku stuff so much, is just because it's a character we don't really know
we,
that well.
we've never gotten anything about him.
Yeah, so
Literally no backstory for him.
and Ahsoka, we know everything about Ahsoka. So,
Count Dooku is arguably one of the most important figures in the political side of the entire Star Wars universe. We've never had a backstory for him.
yeah.
That's kind of stupid.
So I hope they do a season 2. I hope it's more than 6.
I want to see a season 2. I want to see
Okay.
Mace Windu. I want to see how he got his lightsaber. Because that's a cool story that they keep
He
changing.
went to the ice cave.
It's a cool story that they keep changing. I want a definitive version of it.
Why doesn't he just go to the ice cave like everyone else?
In the original lore, he got his lightsaber crystal from a planet of like living crystal aliens, and one of the like people that died in the fight that he was in with them gave him like a part of their
but
body,
also
and that
there's like
became
a
his
bunch
lightsaber
of
crystal.
people with purple lightsabers now, so it doesn't really
No,
matter
but that's
anymore.
only in the High Republic stuff.
Yeah, but everyone in the High Republic has like a rainbow colored lightsaber, and then everyone in the prequels has a blue. And
We're not
green
really
one.
counting the High Republic. That's
It's
all going to be
canon.
that's all going to be decanonized in a couple of years.
When
I'm
they
not
make
worried
The
about that.
acolyte, because they didn't read the book.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. I want to see
Yeah.
I want to see a Mace Windu thing just because we haven't seen a lot of that character just in general. He has 2 arcs I think in Clone Wars, and he doesn't really do a whole lot in either
Let's
of
give
them.
him some personality traits that
Yeah,
are just stoic.
Other than just I follow the rules.
Yes.
That's his only personality
Can he
trait.
show some emotions?
Do
please?
have him do a thing.
Probably do a Yoda arc because it's Yoda.
If they do a Yoda arc, I want to see a old High Republic Yoda.
Or
arc.
so a young Yoda.
I want to see a young Yoda.
Young Yoda.
I want to see Yoda's
the
master.
young Yoda
Who
Chronicles.
trained Yoda? I want to see that guy. That would be cool. I want to see
Doesn't
that.
he say who it is at some point?
I think
Was it
okay, in Legends,
Oh, here we
in
go.
Legends, his master was another one of like the Yoda species. He had like a ponytail,
Are we gonna see a 4th Yoda character?
and I think I wouldn't mind if it was that guy, but I just want to see whoever trained Yoda. I think that'd be a cool concept.
Kit Fisto. I want to see a Kit Fisto thing.
Okay, Kit Fisto we have a lot of.
No, we don't have it. What?
In Clone Wars, he has a lot of stuff.
He's in like one arc.
Yeah, but like we get a very clear picture of who he is.
Yeah, I
like we
guess.
don't really need we know
I
him.
think it's to spread it out would be kind of fun, to where like it's not all during like the prequel stuff.
I want to see Kiadi
Some-
Monday and his like concubine, because you know.
What?
Oh, you didn't know about that? He has a
Oh,
he has
yeah,
a harem
Sam.
of women.
That's gonna be a great episode for a children's cartoon series.
No, but you knew about that, right?
no.
Okay, so you know how the Jedi.
Why
you know how
is
the,
that
listen,
canon?
You know how the Jedi are forbidden from relationships?
Does he just have?
So no, he has an exception because his species is going extinct, and so the Jedi gave him special permission to repopulate his species. So he has like 9 wives. That's just like a little like it's just like a lesser known
Does
Star
all of
Wars
his
thing.
Kids have big foreheads.
Well, yeah, they're all the same species as he is.
That's funny.
I just think that's just a funny
Yeah,
Star
Sam,
Wars
that's
fact.
gonna be a fun arc.
No,
No,
the Kiadi Monday bangs a planet.
Should this show just be like
An anthology.
22-minute episodes?
Yeah,
It should
yeah.
just be full. It should just be Clone Wars style arcs,
but just
but it's different Jedi and they're not connected at all.
yeah, I think
It
that'd
should
be cool.
just be random tales of the Jedi.
Or we don't do. We get one more season not next year, at some point. It's not Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Sith, and we get some backstory for.
Focus on all 4 Sith characters.
We get a Darth Maul backstory.
We know his backstory.
Okay, but we knew Ahsoka's backstory. We just didn't see it.
Yeah,
We've never seen
we'll
Darth
animate
Maul's
Darth
backstory.
Maul. Oh, you know what? They could do that and finally show him breaking out of that prison.
Yeah.
that he escapes from in a comic book.
Do that.
Show him how he got to freaking back to Mandalore after. Show us what happened after Sidious went after him in Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Like what happened in between that and.
So we have one that's how Sidious found Darth Maul.
Mm-hmm.
We have one that's him training Darth Maul.
One that's
And then we
escaping
have
from
one
prison.
that's him escaping and going back to rule the Black Sun.
Or if they're not going to ever tell us what happened in between Clone Wars and Rebels with him.
Yeah. Like,
could
how
do
did he end up
one
on Malachor? We still don't know that.
Yeah, why was he just like hiding in a cave?
On
What happened
yeah.
to his vast criminal
So,
empire?
yeah, I think that would be cool to see. And I
That's
think
for Lando to deal with.
and then I think we should get a Plagueis and Sidious arc.
That would be fun.
Maybe not a full origin story for Palpatine. Because
why not?
I want that to never be a thing.
Why? I mean, we kind of already know it.
We know it. We know generally what it is. We just know he like killed his family
He
and became
was
evil.
from Naboo.
And he killed his family and he was super.
Plagueis goes, "Hey, I'm gonna teach you how to be a Sith," and he goes, "That's very cool, and I will do that."
Yeah,
And
but
then
like
Plagueis goes to sleep and he kills him.
we don't really know why Sidious is super evil. I
'Cause
kind
he's
of
an
like
evil
that.
Sith man.
I kind of like him being just the most evil guy, and no one really knows why.
That's kind of the I mean, you
I think that's kind of
you
his
could
point.
still do that with by like showing the Plagueis stuff.
To
though.
quote the guy who was the producer for Jurassic World, he's kind of like the Joker that way. He's just super evil, and no one really knows why.
I mean, you could still do that, but just show the Plagueis stuff. Like I think that.
But
would
yeah,
be
I want to see some
an
of him
interesting
training with
dynamic
Plagueis.
to explore.
Yeah, I don't want to see an origin for Palpatine, but I do want to see him training with Plagueis.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, because I want to see what their dynamic.
Look at all
was.
these free ideas for you, Disney. Take them.
So,
pay us though. Don't.
I want to see Tales of the Sith with Maul and
and
Plagueis,
Plagueis.
and then if they make more,
Tales of the Jedi.
if they make more Tales of the Jedi, that's cool too.
If you're gonna make more Tales of the Jedi, don't make it on any of the main characters. Don't give us an Obi-Wan arc. Don't give us an Anakin. Don't give us the 75th Ahsoka
Okay,
arc.
wait, hold up though. With
They can
Obi,
be in it, but
with
they just can't be the main
Obi-Wan,
characters.
we could get an Obi-Wan arc.
Oh, him and Qui-Gon on
Him
Mandalore.
and Qui-Gon. Well, maybe not on Mandalore, but actually,
Well,
yeah.
with the whole Satine
Okay,
thing.
yeah,
We
so
gotta
we'd
figure
have-
out what happened there.
We'd have one on we'd have one where Obi-Wan is recruited to the Jedi Order. Because he has a brother, by the way,
True.
that he's mentioned one time in all of Star Wars canon.
What's Obi-Wan Kenobi's origin
Yeah.
story?
We don't, because okay, Obi-Wan
What
is
bear did he make friends with?
Obi-Wan is, I think, the most featured character in all of Star Wars. Arguably one of
I
them.
mean, he's been
He's been a part of Star Wars since the very
Has
beginning.
he been in? No, he's only in.
He's in every movie. He's in every movie except the
Vocally,
sequels.
No, he's not in episode 8.
Except the sequels, I said.
His voice is in episode 7 and 9, though.
Yeah, he's in every movie except
So
8.
he's in 8 of them in some form because he's a ghost in episodes 5 and 6.
Outside of R2D2 and C3PO, he's got
in
the most movies under his belt.
Yeah,
And we don't really know his backstory.
I think we've seen enough of.
We know
Obi-Wan,
he trained
though,
under
'cause we
Qui-Gon.
we got the whole Obi-Wan show, so I think we're good on Obi-Wan dosage.
No, but okay, the Obi-Wan show.
That was still 6 hours of
Come
Obi-Wan.
on. The Obi-Wan show.
That was still a lot of
Come
Obi-Wan
on.
Kenobi.
Yeah, but
And he was in Clone Wars.
he didn't really do a whole lot in the Obi-Wan
But
show.
he was also in a lot of Clone Wars,
And
and he got his own show.
Even in the Obi-Wan show, we don't really get any of his backstory. Out of all the stuff we know about Obi-Wan, we have one sentence more of what we know about him from the Obi-Wan show. That's all that gave us. One extra sentence of what we know about Obi-Wan. And that's that he maybe had a brother. That's all we know about him. I want to see a little bit more. I want to see what were his parents like. Did they willingly give him up to the Jedi? Was he taken? I want to see some of that. I think that'd be cool to explore. And then I think, I don't know. Throw another random Jedi in there. Who cares? Maybe. Oh, they would do Plo Koon finding Ahsoka. They'd have to.
Oh yeah, more Ahsoka. That's what I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
I was
that we didn't see
confused
that.
why that wasn't how it ended.
Because I think
I get that's like how our
I think
transcription's
afterwards
supposed
they
to be.
contact the Jedi and
I
Plo Koon
guess.
comes together.
Yeah, episode 7 is them sending him a galactic email, and he shows up. Well, wasn't she an orphan though?
Hello.
So maybe they abandon her at like a space Walgreens, and Plo Koon finds her while shopping for eggs. This is all free material, Dave Filoni.
Oh wait, did Evie just rate us? I think Evie just rated us.
You adapt this in any way you fashion, in any way you choose. Again, we accept checks.
Oh, thank you, Evie, for the raid. Sorry, I didn't say anything. I'm not reading chat a whole lot because we're recording. But thank you for the raid, Evie. I appreciate it. Shout out to Evie, of course. Thank you.
Oh, it was actually a based on credit for the Ahsoka book for this. That's fun. Oh, they're
Yeah, because
definitely...
they decanonized her whole book.
Well, but it's like it says based on it. So that's
Yeah,
fun.
based on in the.
Yeah, but that's like that never happens though.
It's based on because they just changed it all.
But like whenever they do that, when do they ever credit the person who wrote the original story?
That's true. They wrote her name down. That's something.
That's something. So she's getting a check from this at least.
Yeah, that's nice. I mean, they might as well give her a check since no one's going to be buying her book now.
No, well, no one bought the book in the first place.
Well,
no one reads.
A lot of people bought. That was a very popular
No,
Star Wars book.
Sam, nobody knows how.
Compared to the other Star Wars books, that one was
Yeah, more
very
people have
popular.
Probably read that one. Yes.
Yes. Whereas normally 3 people read Star Wars books. 6
Remember
people
the
read that.
Aftermath trilogy?
Yes, and how it was
Remember how
also
everyone talked about that first book and then it dropped off hard, but the second and third book were the ones everyone considered to be better than the first book?
Yeah, but no one really cared at that point because the first
Are
one was
those
so
even
boring.
canon anymore? Yes.
Mostly,
Cobb Vanth is in.
Bob Vanth is in
is
the
in
first
those.
one. He's not named, but he was in it.
Yep.
Anyway,
And Han's
that's
in
pretty
them.
much it for our Tales of the Jedi stuff. I liked it a lot. I think it was very
Yep,
good.
give me more.
It
It
was-
was also an easy watch too. I got through it all in like
Yeah,
an
I
hour.
finished it all in like a day. It was so easy.
I'll have a good brisk watch where I don't have to like wait 9 weeks.
Yeah, I don't have to like wait a
and like
million
be
years.
like,
Max,
oh shoot,
what are
there
you
was a new
doing,
episode of
Max?
that.
Okay. Tucker, talk about Friday the 13th.
Okay, now Sam, you don't know, and our audience probably doesn't know, but the Friday the 13th, our last Friday the 13th movie was in 2009.
Produced by
Michael Bay.
No.
Yes, it
Was it actually?
Yes.
I was gonna say Harvey Weinstein.
No.
Wasn't it his production company?
He
that made
was
it?
in.
He owned the production company, right?
No, he was not involved in any Friday the 13th movies. He was involved in the Halloween movies.
That's right. Not produced by
Not
Harvey
produced by
Weinstein.
Harvey.
Adjacent.
Harvey Weinstein did Halloween's 6 through Rob Zombie's Halloween.
The
2.
good ones.
He did 3.
He did all the good ones.
Those were the worst ones.
I know, that's the joke.
And also, he definitely. Anyway.
Anyway.
Yes, there hasn't been a Friday the 13th movie in 13 years. Because there's been a rights fight between Sean S. Cunningham, who directed the first movie, and the screenwriter of the first movie, Victor Miller. They've been
Yes.
going back and forth in court for years. Victor Miller won the rights to the script, so he owns the original movie script and everything created in that.
Okay.
However, Sean S. Cunningham owns the rights to all of the other movies. So
Okay.
Victor Miller owns the rights to Jason as a small boy, but
Mhm.
Sean S. Cunningham owns the rights to Jason as a big guy in a hockey mask.
Okay.
Even though they're the same person, because they're basically not the same person, the rights are split up.
Really dumb.
On top of that, New Line Cinema owns the rights to the Jason character and all of his elements. However, Paramount owns the rights to the title Friday the 13th and all of the music associated with the original 8 films.
Mm-hmm.
So all the rights are just...
They're all owned by different people.
They're split up. And also, I think LeBron James might own it in some capacity.
What?
Yeah, it's weird. They're split up in a million different places. But A24 is making a TV show. So
Are the TV rights also messed up, or are
so
those
the
like
TV rights are
weird?
not messed up, which is why this is
Okay.
not a movie. So
So just make one episode of a TV show that's an hour and 30 minutes long?
So they're doing a TV show. It's going to be a prequel to the original Friday the 13th.
Oh, good. That's what
It's
everyone
going to
wanted.
be called Crystal Lake.
Okay.
A24 TV, who the only other show they've made is Euphoria, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
It's going to be a show run by Brian Fuller, who's also going to write all the episodes.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
So presumably this will be about the period of time where the camp was closed, aka where nothing was happening at Crystal Lake.
That's good. Okay.
Which sounds like a really solid idea for a television show.
Yeah,
The
I
time
feel like
where nothing was happening.
I feel like that's really good. Okay.
So our writer Brian Fuller has worked on like 6 different Star Trek shows, and then
That's good.
also American Gods.
That's really.
He has a Primetime
That's
Emmy
good.
Award for Outstanding Writing for Comedy Series.
All right. Does this go somewhere? Does this?
No, it's just
important?
happening. Oh, it's happening at Peacock as well. It's going to release on Peacock.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. See, I was saying that's good before. That's awesome.
Damn, Peacock's, they're ramping up.
Oh, are they?
They got that Community movie.
You know where that
Oh,
ramp is?
speaking
You know
of,
where
I
that
need to-
ramp is going?
Hang on, I need to cancel my Peacock.
You know what direction that
subscription real
ramp
quick.
is going? You know what that ramp's connected to?
Watch it on Hulu.
That ramp's connected to nothing. That ramp goes right off a cliff.
Well, I'm not paying for Peacock anymore. You can pay me.
Max,
and I'll
buy
take
for
it.
your own Peacock.
Yeah, give me $5.
Peacocktober is over.
No, they got rid of that. They got rid of that slogan. It was
Yeah,
just
I know, but we got to keep it around.
Peacock.
We have to remind them that they thought Peacocktober was a good name
got
for
focus
an
groups.
event.
I mean,
Several people approved that name.
Mm-hmm. Several. All right.
All right,
Sam,
my
what
news.
do you have to talk about?
Halo Infinity, everyone's favorite game that they stopped playing a month after it came out, is getting ray tracing in Season 3. Now, you might be thinking, Sam, this news is not important. This news is barely anything. This is arguably not even news. And I agree with you. 100% I agree with you. And that's why I added it. Halo single-handedly created an entire console manufacturer by itself. And all they've done with the brand recently is nothing. They've done nothing with Halo Infinite. The campaign was basically non-existent. There was no cutscenes. The story did not continue. The story that they left off on.
Co-op, even though they promised it was going to be in the game.
They scrapped co-op, even though they promised it before launch. Yeah, it just sucks. Which is a shame because the game is actually really fun
and free.
Like we played the game a lot. Like
It's
when
fun
when I brought my
another
Xbox
person.
over, and I don't even remember. I think I was like babysitting you guys for a weekend. I brought the Xbox over. We played Halo for like the whole weekend.
That's not a detail you need to share, Sam.
That was super fun. That was like months ago. What are they gonna get a time machine and go back in time to break
That's
into our
not what
house
I'm
when I was
talking
babysitting
about.
you guys?
Anyway.
That's a dumb statement. Anyway, yeah, we played Halo. It was fun. It was a good game, and they have not improved it, and they have not done anything to maintain it, and that's really a
They're adding
shame.
ray tracing, and that's what matters.
But they're adding ray tracing. You know what other game has ray tracing? Fortnite.
But
Fortnite's got better support than Halo. You know which game costs more to make? Halo. You want to you want to know what
Sam's gonna pick Fortnite as his game of the year.
You know what the most expensive game to produce of all time was?
Fortnite.
No, it's Halo Infinite.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, it had like a $300 million budget or something stupid like that.
Now tell me which one today you would rather play.
Halo.
You'd rather play Halo?
I would 100% rather play.
Is that just because you haven't played it as
it's
much?
because I don't ever want to play Fortnite ever again.
Okay, but
I'm
you
so
could
sick of Fortnite.
play Halo now. You just don't.
I couldn't.
You can on
I
your
think this
laptop.
thing could run Halo, Sam.
You could download it on there.
This thing can
You
run
can download
Minecraft
it.
at 30 FPS if it's plugged into a charger and everything
You
is
could
turned up.
bootleg Xbox onto your PS4 and play it on there.
Uh,
I actually did download it, but didn't like
On the PC?
on my
Well, it worked when Wyatt played it.
no, like I downloaded it and closed it and then I
Well, it's probably because it had to update. Yeah, probably because it needed to update.
so
Okay, so
it,
you
like-
just didn't finish
no, it
downloading
said
it.
it wasn't downloading. It said that it was downloading.
Okay, that was probably a Wi-Fi issue. Anyway, yeah, Halo, make it good.
all right.
Make it good. Yeah, Xbox, fix your game.
So everybody, that is gonna wrap up this week's show. We will be back next week to talk about something. If Sam will watch
yeah.
the Weird Al movie, we'll talk about
I
that.
won't. I will not watch that.
What about Enola
Not a
Holmes
single
2? Will you
person.
watch Enola Holmes 2?
You know what? Yeah.
Okay, we'll be back next week to
I
talk
will.
about Enola Holmes 2. And then
Sounds like a good idea.
and then the week after it'll be Black Panther, and then the week after that, Christmas Story Christmas.
Holiday special?
The Fabelmans is hitting limited release.
No, not doing Fabelmans.
Glass Onion comes out later this month.
That
So
I
does
will
Strange
watch.
World.
That I like. Oh my gosh, the marketing for
Oh
Strange
my
World.
God.
I hate it so much.
Oh
I
my
haven't
god.
seen like any.
Remember when it was gonna be like an homage to like
1950s.
1950s?
And then they just dropped that after the first trailer.
And then they decided it was not gonna
it
be
was
that
just
at
gonna
all.
be like the world's most generic fantasy story.
Did you see that line in the trailer where he grabs the blob thing and he's like, I want to merchandise it? And I was like,
Anyway, we're very excited for Disney product.
I hate that. I hate that. I'm not
We'll be
watching
back
it.
next week at the same YouTube channel.
Same bad time. I'm
youtube.com/
feeling the Linus outro. Same bad time. Same bad channel.
youtube.com/the McDoncast. If you want to find us on YouTube, we're on all the audio platforms, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, it's all just the McDoncast. You can follow us on Twitter at McDonMedia and on Instagram at McDonMedia as well. Sam's on Twitch at
If you're not already watching me on Twitch right now, yeah, I'm on Twitch. I stream almost every
McDon
day.
Streams. That's the name of the Twitch
Should
channel.
be
McDon
listed at the
streams.
beginning of the show.
Goodbye,
because most
everybody.
people-
Bye bye.